All right, what is going on, everybody out there? Let's see. I guess Thursday night pop-up stream here. Just having a good time talking to Gutters here for a minute. We figure we go live. Gutters, you with me?
I am. How are you?
Look at that. Doing good. Doing good. Had a eventful day, eventful night, and yeah, just fun. Glad to be here. Glad to say hey to everybody. See what's going on. We already got a couple people in here. Who we got? Outlaw, Matt Dummett, Daniel Barry, Maui, Howie. What's going on, guys? Good to see y'all. Good to see everybody tonight. So what are you doing? You're getting ready to go camping, glamping?
I am. I'm gonna take Marvin and go out glamping. Right now, my most stressful part of it is deciding exactly where I'm gonna go because I don't plan ahead, obviously. And the other thing is I am a little nervous about putting the what do they call it? The tow bar on the back of my RV and towing the toad with it because I haven't towed yet. So this is my first time towing, and yeah, I'm a little nervous about it. The biggest thing is getting it on there. I think I'll do fine towing it. I worry more about getting the tow bar
No,
on
who's doing the driving? You or Marv?
me. Marv's not
Oh,
driving.
oh shit.
I drove the last time.
Oh. Well, yeah, I'd be a little bit scared to ride with you. Yeah, I'll drop the link. Give me a second. I'll drop the link out there. This is just for fun, so anybody can come up. We're just having a good time. Maui Howie, you're going to be back in the U.S. in 3 weeks. You got to get up with me, man. Get up with me this time. I know last time you had a bunch of stuff going on, but need to catch up, hang out, or something like that. So be cool. Look at this. We got some people coming in from over on your channel too. Who do we have? A little bit and Debbie Webb, Sherry from Canada. Good to see you guys.
Yes, nice to see you, ladies.
Let me see. Let me get this. Or maybe he was saying no. Either way, I'll drop the link. Maybe he meant something like no invite on the camping or something. But let's see if anybody wants to come on here with us, Gutters. Let me make sure I spell this kind of stuff.
Noticer. How are you, the noticer?
The noticer.
The noticer. Oh, my fan's going to drive me nuts.
And I want fans.
It's a fan. Oh, it's noisy too. Jesus.
Oh boy. All right, here we go. Link is pinned if anybody wants to pop up. There it is. I did find, but you don't know where you're gonna go camping, is that what you were saying?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I have a couple different areas that I'm thinking about. One's in Washington, the other one's in Oregon. I'm just not quite sure. I think we're gonna play it by ear, basically, to see.
Now is he off? He's off work for a short period of time.
Mm-hmm. Well, for quite a while because he had that surgery and that put him out for 6 weeks, and then he has some time that he needs to burn up. Oh my gosh, some time he needs to burn up. So he is going to take some extra time off because the company's kind of forcing him to do it, due to the fact that if he doesn't, they're going to take it away from him. So it's kind of a new thing they've just put in. I think it's something to do with the union. I'm not quite sure, but
yeah, well, hey, he gets a vacation, so that's good to get it. And you get to go camping, glamping. You get to do what you love to do best, and he gets to get off work and.
Yeah, and he can just sit back and play king while I make him a sandwich. So it's good. And I drive, and I set it all up. And he just gets to kick back and,
Yeah, it sounds like a pretty sweet deal.
Yeah, I mean, dude, he's got it made.
Look at this. We got P Digits in here as well. What's up, P Digits? Hey, Debbie Webb. She says, hey, traveling fools. Good to see you. And let's see who we got. We got Mishka in here as well. Good to see you, Mishka.
Aw, a little bit sent me pictures of Squeaks. That's her little one who just turned a year. Not too long ago, and she is so cute.
Ah, cool. What's up, Outlaw?
Hanging in.
Oh, thanks for calling me cute. I appreciate it.
Yeah, all 17 feet of you.
Wow. Long time no see, guys. What's up?
Not much, man. How you been?
Not bad, not bad. kind of just been busy running errands all week.
Yeah, have you made any sawdust lately?
Oh man, I was up there today actually helping move some machines around.
Ah, cool. Yeah,
I'm sorry. They want us to post the link in my chat.
post it in there.
I had my brother come down today, and he wanted to, I guess, move the shaper and the dust collector and a few other machines to his shop. So, yeah, we had to move all that shit today.
That sounds like fun. Those dust collectors, they're not that heavy. What do you got? One of those bag ones?
Yeah, one of the I got a bag on top and bottom that inflates when you put air to it. Yeah.
Yeah, those are easy to move, but those shapers and stuff like that, man, that can get heavy.
Golly. Yeah, that thing's old. It's like an old 1980s Powermatic.
Oh yeah, so it probably weighs what, 400 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah, it took 3 of us to move it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hate moving stuff like that. What's up, Duggar? How you doing?
Hey, doing really well. How you doing?
Doing all right, man. Good to see you. How's Mr. Duggar been?
Yeah, we're in the middle of a
Mr.
barbecue
Duggar.
cooking.
Oh man, you got in barbecue and you ain't invite me? Shit.
Well, we got a gig we're doing tomorrow for a wedding, and then we're cooking for the weekend.
Heck yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's cool.
we slinging a little barbecue. Today we're cooking 5 briskets, 20 chickens, 2 pork butts, and about 20 to 30 pounds of sausage.
Oh wow, that's a lot, man.
And then we're gonna have dirty rice, glorified cabbage. What else? Oh yeah, coleslaw and potato salad.
Oh,
And I'm making jalapeno cornbread.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yum.
Oh, that stuff's so good.
I can make cornbread like an old colored woman man from the South.
Cast iron skillet?
Well, I usually use a cast iron skillet, but I got to make like cornbread for 48 people. So
Yeah.
I got a bigger pan that I can make squares out of.
Yeah.
What's up, Noticer? How you doing?
Yo, hello.
What's going
How
on,
you
bud?
doing?
Pretty good. How are you guys?
Doing all right. Doing all right. I don't think I've ever talked to you before. You're a friend from over at Gutters, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever come up on my panel either.
Yeah, it's the first time I've had the chance to. So,
Well, good to meet you.
yeah.
Yeah. So what's your deal, Noticer? Tell us about yourself.
What do you want to know? Well,
I don't
where should
know.
I start from the beginning?
Exactly.
What's your social security number?
Oh, damn it. I forgot.
Start with your bank account.
Right.
It's not that big. You don't want it.
All contributions are appreciated. Contributions are nice.
Nice.
What do you do, man?
Well, what do I do? I am retired. I was in the military, but
Thanks you, sir. I am too retired, and I was
Nice.
also in the military, but not that long.
thank you, sir.
What branch?
I was Army. I was a medic.
That's my boy. I like you better and better. I still
nice.
talking.
I got a buddy that was also in the MD military.
Nice. I appreciate everybody that serves, all the families that help. It's really it's a small community, but also there's a lot of veterans.
Oh, there really is.
Well, that's cool. So yeah, retired life. That can't be too bad.
No, not at all. And I recently got a little electric bike, so I've been doing a little more like going to the local river and doing a lot more fishing. So
See, now you really endearing
Right?
yourself to me.
You might be Mr. Duggar's son.
man,
Uh-oh.
Oh no, not to be.
if you got a pond, I'll be your son.
Oh.
Do what?
You got a pond, I'll come over.
Oh man, I got a river about 3 minutes away from me.
Oh hell yeah!
I've been hearing
Pecos River in New Mexico.
Nice.
I've been hearing a lot of people buying those electric bikes here lately. Are they that good?
Yeah, it's not bad. I go pick up food and I go to the
Mhm.
little grocery store down the street and I got a big basket on the back. So
Yeah, I actually looked into a couple of them because they look. Yeah, it looks like it'd be cool. You know, if they'll climb a. Do you have any hills where you are, or?
yeah, there's a little hill, but it's like it's pedal assist, so
Right.
it's really not that hard. Once you get to the top of the hill, it's like easy going.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, I've been on one. It was a Quiet Cat, and it was made for hunting. And
Nice.
man, that thing goes straight up a hill. It's pretty.
Oh
It's
yeah,
pretty intense
some of them
bike.
got them nice motors. They'll go really fast.
Oh yeah, you come down and you're on deer before they even know you're around. Or
Yeah,
hogs.
we want a couple for the back of our RV. That way we don't always have to take the tote or whatever. We can just grab the
They've
bike. Boom.
they've got electric dirt bikes too now that I've noticed people riding.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, them things are ripping.
yeah.
Go real
Seen those
fast.
things. Things are
See, I'm-
crazy.
See, I'm an old school Southern guy, man, from back in the woods. I like the sound of a two-stroke a lot better.
A nice Kawasaki.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
It's kind of the same with cars. It's like those electric cars. There's something about getting in a car and hearing, like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
And
that
you're like,
V8.
okay,
Mhm.
right.
Cam, hell yeah.
Now, the ones that freak me out are those new cars that they stop at the stoplight. Like, and then all of a sudden you go to take off and
And then they
the car
crank up
beside you.
again.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell is that?
So
like-
I think we've talked about that before. I mean, what are
BMWs? Yeah.
what's going to be the life expectancies on these starters?
Mhm.
You know these things they're going to be having, and I bet it costs a fortune now to put a starter in one of these because they're going to say, well, it's a heavy duty, but it'll burn out fast anyway. I'll bet there'll be 3 times as much money.
So speaking of that, traveling fools, I seen today where California they suspended Newsom's plan to ban all sales of gas vehicles by 2035. They suspended that, I think. So
Well, it was impossible. They didn't have the infrastructure for it.
And Daddy's going to jail anyway, so
200 and something Republicans and like 35 Democrats voted it down.
That's a good thing. I mean, that's just a dumb rule. What's up, Lorraine? Good to see you. Good
Yeah,
to see
they
you, Lorraine.
should have. I mean, that's fucking crazy.
Well, I mean, they don't have the infrastructure to charge them all, so it's not like it doesn't work.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying I would. Have you ever drove a Tesla or any of those?
My brother's got one of those Mach-E Mustangs. I have yet to ride in it, but they claim it's like snap your neck fast.
Yeah, like I mean, they're fun to drive it. And if I wouldn't have one as my only vehicle, I have nothing against them. Yeah, but like if I was rich and had just a bunch of car, I'd have one. Yeah, just to run to town and back and stuff.
I'm not against EVs. I'm against the government regulation on them.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. Forcing you to buy them.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. So I don't like the thought of it.
Yeah.
where I live, there's more and more side by sides are becoming street legal. To ride around the roads and stuff, where you don't, you got tags on them just like a car.
You get those little kind of off-road looking things.
Yeah, well, no, not really the sand rails, but more like the Polaris Rangers.
Oh, okay, I got you.
The side by sides. I'll tell you what, man, I miss my Ranger. I went everywhere in that thing. It was amazing where that thing would go, and I didn't have to worry about. I did roll it one time, well, actually twice, but
Or 3 times.
you're guarded by rails. Well, I had one time I had sand hill kind of crumble underneath us, and the other one I backed up on a plant, and it just leaned me over. But it was easy to turn back over with the winch, But you got rails all around you. You got a cage,
Right.
Whereas a regular just get on a little 4-wheeler, dude, them things hurt more people.
Remember the old 3-wheelers? Those were the
dude,
best.
this thing was like
My son-
suicide machines.
My son just got a brand new 4-wheeler that he'd been saving for, and it was one of those quads to take out on the dunes, and it's like 700. I don't know. It goes like hell.
Oh, like
Whoa.
what do they call it? Yamaha Raptor 700.
Yeah, something like that. I think that might be what it is. Hey, Status Quo.
You know
but
that-
yeah, he ends up. He's supposed to break it in, and I mean, if anybody knows anything about breaking in these new engines like that, you have to break them in slowly. And well, he couldn't handle it. By about I think it was the 25th hour, he wrecked that some bitch. He couldn't. He couldn't.
Right.
Yeah. So much for taking it easy. So I mean,
Oh,
of course he's
man.
You were talking about them 3-wheelers. You remember Honda made a 2-stroke 3-wheeler.
Yeah. Oh,
That
yeah.
thing sounded badass.
Yeah, and then, but remember wrecking them though. Like you'd be going, you'd think, "Oh, I'm going to take this turn," and you'd start this damn thing just roll right over on you.
Oh,
It's like,
and just eat you as it goes over you.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Pecan, baby, how are you, darling?
to see a
Baker?
pecan. Yeah, Baker in here. He says he was asleep, but he heard Mr. Duggar's voice calling out to him in his dreams. So, what's up, Baker?
Baker.
Good
The only
to see
thing
you.
I don't like about a 2-stroke, you constantly have to keep rebuilding it or maintain it, or you have to ride it hard or you'll blow it up.
Right. Yeah, I mean it's it's like with boats too. They have those new force and they're so quiet, and that is kind of nice. Out on the water when you don't have. But I don't know. At the same time, I like the sound.
Right.
I mean that was a bad problem with the people burning out their starters and stuff in the boats because they're so used to having the loud sound that they kept cranking them and cranking them and cranking them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
And I think that's going to happen with those cars that turn off
I
at
do
the
too.
turn off at the lights.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
It just blows me away.
I know Toyota Priuses that went over 200,000 miles and have the original brakes and the original starter that came with them. And actually, this guy had to change his battery one time at 180,000 miles. And
Yeah, that's
now
pretty good.
He's probably got 3 or 4 on it by now, I'm sure.
Yeah, some of those cars will just keep going and going and going. But they make everything to break now.
Yeah.
Baker, that's funny. Baker trolling in the comments. Look at that.
Yes. Pecan, baby.
Oh,
she
wait. Can I just say something to Baker? Fuck you, Baker.
Oh, I love it. Too funny.
He's back to oral sex, Baker.
Oh.
I'm not back here for really. I'm not even here right now.
Oh, hell, that's funny. Yeah, so anything else? How do you say the noticer? Let me ask you. So what part of the US are you in? Like you don't have to give us a city or you know what I mean? You don't have to say anything. Just curious.
Sorry, can you hear me? Oh yeah, I'm in a offshoot of Portland, Oregon. Like a
Okay, so
small
you're
town.
out west as well.
Not another
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, you're out there with gutters.
Yeah.
You have your own plane too?
Yeah, I wish.
Gutter's got 2 of them.
Oh wow.
Oh hell yeah! I got a whole fleet. What the hell are you talking about?
Give me a flight, please. Get me out of here.
Yeah.
And that's what you got to start doing. Gutters is just hauling people out of that.
Just get us out.
Right.
Do you fish the Columbia ever?
Yeah, that's I fish Columbia and the Willamette pretty frequently.
Yeah, you do a lot of salmon fishing?
Oh yeah, that's mostly
Man,
what
there
I go
ain't
for
nothing
up here.
better than a fresh salmon.
For real.
I didn't think I'd ever say that about, a salmon because I was never really that fond. I liked it, but I wasn't, an enthusiastic participant. But man, when I got to grill a fresh salmon, what a total different fish that
Oh
thing
yeah,
Mm.
it's so good.
Oh,
It is so good.
most delicious fish I ever ate.
oh God, yeah.
It is.
Catfish, man. Phew.
I love fried catfish too.
Ooh, with some butter sauce, some garlic butter sauce. Oh,
I like it fried myself.
yes, sir. Some hush puppies.
Yeah, some grits.
All right, enough food talk. What's up, Gurf?
So hungry now.
I know.
Hey, us Southerners know how to talk about some food. You know, we'll get you hungry.
We the only ones know how to cook. Them Yankees don't know how to cook.
I'm telling you. I seen on Facebook the other day, somebody said, "Man, you ain't never seen somebody brag about Northern food."
I haven't. Tell you the
South-
truth.
Yeah, I was like, hell yeah.
It's kind of like British people, you know.
I
You
mean,
never
I
really
do
hear
like
them
a Philly
brag.
cheesesteak.
Because they
I ain't
can't
gonna lie.
brag. That's the nastiest food ever, man. And they love the dick. They love the spotted dick.
Yeah, you ain't wrong.
Noticer does have a point though. Those Philly cheesesteaks and a New York style pizza, but other than that, I don't think you know.
Philly
Other than that,
cheesesteak.
fuck 'em.
Well,
If it's done right, yeah.
Well, I can't say nothing. You just said two of my favorite things in the world. I love a cheesesteak, man. And a pizza, real New York thin crust pizza.
Yeah, me too. Just
It's the only way to eat
greasy.
it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't
just
like that
dripping
thick
with
crust
grease.
pizza.
Me either. Fuck that thick crust stuff, man. Give me the
I
thinnest
love
crust
thick.
you can
No,
do.
I want thick crust, but I can't.
I like thick crust.
I
Boo.
mean,
Boo her.
if I'm gonna eat bread on a pizza, it's got to be like cheese sticks. Like chocolate
That
sticks.
sauce they put on it, they could just skip that shit altogether. Just
Oh,
put the
you-
cheese and the meat and the veggies on it.
Well, you know, Gutters wants it thick.
So you don't like the marinara on there?
I don't like. It's too strong. That tomato paste shit
Oh,
they
it's
put
awesome.
on there.
You're weird.
Uh,
I am weird. What's
this
up?
thing I
Gazelle?
just smell like bologna.
Hey, good to see you, Kazoom.
Oh,
Fried bologna's good.
Now you're talking about the poverty meal right there. That's what I'm talking about.
Fried spam, fried bologna.
Oh,
I did it
man.
before.
Our
The
meal's
only
getting,
time.
ketchup packets and making tomato soup out of it.
Yeah, yes, I've
I
done
was
that
going to
before.
say ketchup sandwiches too.
I used to talk about just getting the hot water and the
And-
ketchup packets. That's when you know you're, on the road. Poor.
Mayonnaise sandwiches too, with nothing but
Yeah.
pepper. Mayonnaise with
Yeah,
pepper.
I've had those. Yeah.
When I eat
We had-
ketchup and water, it's time to rob somebody. That's all it is to it.
I don't
In
know
the summer,
Get a
I don't know
burger.
where it originates, but I've heard people eating peanut butter and mayonnaise sandwich.
Ooh,
no.
That's a thing. I don't know who invented it, where it comes from, but I've heard of people eating it.
I've heard a lot of peanut butter and banana.
Zoom said he's in the stage of facts.
Yeah.
Hey, Kazoom.
Hey there.
A fried peanut butter and banana sandwich with some cinnamon sugar sprinkled on top. That's good.
hello, Kazumi.
What's up, Kazoom?
Hey, how's
Good
it
to see you.
going?
That
So,
was
how about you don't like the marinara on pizza? How about Alfredo sauce on pizza?
Oh,
No.
Have
Oh,
you ever
yeah.
We
had?
have to put sauce on it.
Drinking lobster.
are you talking about the white Alfredo sauce?
Yeah, the white Alfredo sauce. Yeah.
Okay, that's. I'll try that.
I prefer tomato myself, but I just heard her saying she doesn't like the tomato sauce. I'm like, well, is there another sauce you might like on it?
I've never
Yeah, I'm
tried
not
that.
much of a sauce on. For some reason, I would just rather it have like
I said,
I'll usually say light on the sauce. That's what I'll usually say. That way, it's still on there, so that Marv and the kids aren't going. Really, you just
Yeah.
got us bread with cheese and meat
they have to
and
order- do they-
vegetables on it.
A side of marinara.
Yeah, we do that too. We'll
I would
order a
if you were
side of that.
taking it off. I'd be like,
You're,
pissed.
you're onto something. I've never heard of people putting Alfredo sauce on.
You've
there.
you've never had like a chicken Alfredo pizza.
was
It's
gonna
got
say
like the
chicken
spinach
Alfredo.
and
I've had.
it's good.
I've had
lobster Alfredo.
It's good if the sauce is good. I've had really bad Alfredo that tastes like it's based in mayonnaise.
Mhm.
So
I've had
Yeah.
pulled pork like barbecue chicken pizza and stuff, but not that.
Yeah, try with the Alfred. Like Matt Dummett white pizza. Same thing. A lot of people call it that. It's good. It's usually got garlic, spinach, chicken and that. You know, I like it. I like regular pizza better, but it's good.
You
I'll
can
try
put
it.
lobster and shrimp on that sucker, man. There you
Oh,
go.
yeah.
I do have extra.
Yeah, with an Alfredo, yeah, that would be good. Yeah, I'd shrimp with tomato sauce is terrible though, to me.
Oh,
Yeah.
yuck.
Same with fish with tomato. No, that doesn't go very well.
Yeah, I don't
Unless,
like it.
unless it's a Cajun sauce pecan.
Pineapple on pizza. No.
Only if there's ham on it or Canadian bacon on it. If there's no
But-
ham or Canadian bacon, no thanks to the pineapple.
But let me
It
throw you a
really-
curveball here, because technically tomato sauce is a fruit paste, because tomatoes are considered fruits, right?
Yes.
Well, okay.
So you're
Yeah.
technically eating a fruit spread pie at that point.
Well, see, I've got a rule with that, and I'll add to your point. I agree with you, Kazoom. Is I can do it with the ham on there. I'd rather have ham than Canadian bacon, but I always have to have jalapenos, because then if you get that hot with that sweet at the same time, it's actually really good. But I like it with the jalapenos and the pineapples if I'm gonna have pineapples.
I've never had jalapenos on pizza before, and the thing I like if they were based on like fresh jalapenos or roasted jalapenos, that'd be cool. But if it's the pickled jalapenos, oh no way.
No. It's got to be fresh, regular. And the only way I would want jalapeno on a pizza is if I have pineapple. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like those two right there go hand in hand.
As
Other
far,
than that, keep them both off of pizza.
as far as that goes, I like bell peppers, like the yellows and the reds and greens.
Me too.
Yeah,
Oh,
I like the reds.
Me too. I like that.
The
I
green,
used
the
to like
greens,
green.
the greens give me indigestion. I've never quite figured it out. I can do red and yellow, but green gives me indigestion.
Yeah.
Well, see,
the
I like
green
the.
and the red are sweeter. Sorry.
No, you're good. I always liked the green until I got like, I don't know, until about 8 years ago. And I always liked all of them, but green were my favorite. Then I started liking the red more. Like for some reason, it's just like my taste buds changed.
Yeah.
I live in
It's
New Mexico.
actually yellow, orange, and red that are sweeter. And it's actually more towards the red and the orange that are sweeter, and then the green.
It's weird because that Traveling Fool says that, because used to I hated relish on a hot dog. Now I can't get enough of it on a hot dog. I'm like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Stuff's so good now.
Well, and your taste buds will change over the years. Like I remember you couldn't pay me to eat dark chocolate when I was younger, and now don't even show me dark chocolate, because it's going. I'm going to eat every bit of it, and it's going to be gone within the night. I mean, it's just not lasting.
Somebody said Texas Pete hot sauce. Yeah, hot sauce on
No.
pizza is good too.
I live in New Mexico. We have green chili for our pizzas down here.
Ooh.
I don't know if I'd
Yeah,
like
when it comes to chocolate,
yeah, you would.
I don't really like milk chocolate much. I either like dark chocolate or white chocolate, either one.
I'm not a white chocolate fan, but I love dark chocolate.
I like that blood orange chocolate like you get at Target. That blood orange chocolate's pretty good.
Is it the thing? Does it come apart like is it
Oranges?
round and you take it apart via these slices like
Yeah.
slices of orange?
Right.
Okay, yeah, those are good.
Yeah, it's
They are.
And they're usually
flavored-
based. Then they have some that are based on dark chocolate and others that are based on milk chocolate. So
Right.
yeah,
Raspberry.
Right.
Mhm.
Got
Hmm.
raspberry, got mint. I think there's a semi-sweet and a something else.
Roasted green chilies. I love green chilies.
Uh,
Yum.
Oh,
My
hey
go-to,
everybody.
my
Can you
go-to,
hear me?
What's up?
uh,
What's up,
Hey,
Rick?
Rex.
my go-to
Okay,
is always
fair enough.
Cholula.
Y'all were talking
Car-
about y'all were talking about pizza earlier, and I agree that you need the pineapple on the pizza if you're going to have jalapenos on the pizza, because
Mhm.
one offsets the other.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's
Okay,
actually
fair
good. If
enough.
nobody's ever tried that, try it. It's actually good.
it is. It is.
I would suggest Cholula
Yeah.
hot sauce on pizza. That is actually a really good hot sauce.
Hey, when I was in the Army, the only thing that made the MREs better was the little bottle of hot sauce that you got with it. You poured that shit on everything. Yeah.
Yeah, Texas Pete is my favorite, but
Texas Pete. Crystal's pretty good. When you go like a sit down restaurant and they got Crystal hot sauce.
Oh yeah, get it.
I gotta-
I just want the Cheesinator from Crystals and pretend like it's not bad for me.
Oh yeah.
I got to respond to something. Baker said I need to send him some fresh green chili from Hatch. Not after them audio comments, pal.
Oh man, them crystals. What you
Give me that
talking about?
Louisiana hot sauce.
A sack of them 12 crystals, man, and some fries.
Oh, a sack full.
Oh,
That's just like you ever had Kazoom? You ever had Crystal Burgers?
No, I don't even know what they are. I've never heard of them.
Delicious.
Oh,
they're
no.
like
It's like
the
White
South
Castle.
version of White
Oh,
Castle.
is it like White Castle? Yeah,
Yeah.
I've had White Castle. I guess that.
And I was thinking about Carl's Jr. or Hardee's on the other side of the country. They have a burger that has green chilies on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really tasty.
Hardee's is pretty good. Their breakfast used to be really, really good because their biscuits were made from scratch. I don't know if they still do it, but
I don't either.
I
I
can't
dated
even-
a chick. I dated a chick that was a manager at Hardee's. She'd give me a ton of biscuits and gravy for like nothing. I'd pay for like one
That's not
serving,
the
and she'd
direction
give
I
me
thought
like
that was going.
3. Yeah. So,
I can't even eat a cheeseburger without green chili on it anymore.
You know, Pete Digits
I like
likes
their
tiger
mushroom
sauce.
twist. I
Yeah,
like their
tiger
mushroom
blood,
twist.
tiger sauce blood, or whatever.
My favorite is like right here what Baker's saying, Texas Pete. If we're going with hot sauce, I'm going with Texas Pete. Give me that all day.
Ooh.
long.
Louisiana.
Yeah, I
Cholula.
wish I was into hot sauce. I just can't stand vinegar, and that's what it's based on. So
Cholula.
Did
yeah.
you like Cholula?
Yeah, Cholula is delicious. I'd drink that stuff if I could.
I have that in my fridge, but Texas Pete's my go-to. I like it.
They make so Cholula does different flavors, and they've got a what was it? A
Jalapeno,
Chipotle.
habanero.
The Tabasco Chipotle is really good.
They've got a Chipotle flavor in the Cholula that's really, really good, and then they got a garlic. What flavor is that? Like garlic chili or something?
My kids replaced ketchup for the longest time. We didn't even have ketchup in our fridge because they just told me to stop buying ketchup, Mom. It just sits there forever. Just get
Honey
the
mustard.
sugar. What is it? Something sugar, and it's Chipotle. What is it? Sugar Ray,
Baby Ray.
Baby Ray's.
Oh, Sweet
Yeah.
Baby Ray's.
Yes,
Yeah, Sweet Baby
Ray's.
Ray's. My favorite is their brown sugar and hickory smoke.
Yeah,
Oh,
That's a good one.
that's really good. Next time you go, there's what is it? Japanese. There's a Japanese barbecue sauce they make. Fucking excellent. Comes in like a top bottle.
I don't know
Japanese,
that one.
Korean, Thai barbecue sauce.
I don't know.
Korean.
What's up,
barbecue-
Multi? Good to see you, Multi.
Korean
Just
barbecue
muted.
sauce. When I've tried it, the ones that
Maybe
I've
it's
tried
me.
anyway, they're more like the Yoshida's
No, I'm not
sauce
doing
you put on rice and such.
No.
It tastes more like that instead of like what you think of a barbecue.
Mm-hmm. Now, if we're talking barbecue sauce, oh yeah, Sweet Baby Ray's is probably top. But who else makes it? Shit.
I used to like Bullseye a lot, but after Baby Ray's, it just doesn't compare. So
Yeah.
What's going on, Ike? Good to see Ike. The Ike is the king of the Rubik's Cube.
Stubbs. Yes, P Digits. Thanks. Stubbs is really good.
Stubbs.
I sent you a picture.
Kinder's makes a really good
Kinder's.
barbecue.
That's who I was thinking of. Trying to think of Kinder's. Yeah, they're good too. But that Japanese Korean barbecue sauce, man, that stuff's good.
I hate that purple shit.
Guy Fieri's got a brand of stuff now, Flavortown sauces. They're pretty good.
What's that barbecue sauce? The Black Man Stubbs?
Yeah, that's Stubbs.
Stubbs. Yeah.
Damn. Won't be long before he gets Aunt Jemima.
Earl
Yeah, he'll
Campbell,
probably.
Earl Campbell got out some good barbecue sauce too.
Alabama's got a now you guys will make jokes out of it, but Alabama's got an infamous white colored barbecue sauce that we're known for. It's like
Oh, the white
mayonnaise,
sauce on the chicken is so
like
good.
ranch,
God.
ranch and mayonnaise, and a lot of other ingredients that makes it white.
Hmm.
Really good.
You know who makes a good sauce is Zaxby's. Zax sauce. That stuff's so good.
Yeah,
I can't do the Zaxby's, man. It just feels like you rent it. You know, you go in there and it's just 30 minutes later, it's gone.
right. Baker, you called it. Yeah, white sauce.
Fools, did you get that picture I sent you?
Yeah, I just did. I was just looking at it. That looks good.
Hey, Wanda.
Big Daddy Bob Gibson. Yep.
Hi, Wanda E. Good to see you. Hey, Wanda, I sent you an email, Wanda. So check your email. Get back to me.
Nick Saban from Alabama football actually had his own barbecue sauce for a short time. Saban sauce. And it actually is pretty good. There's also a Dr. Pepper infused barbecue sauce down here they sell. Believe it or not, that's a pretty good
Are you in
flavor of
Alabama?
barbecue sauce. Yeah, we get all the crackhead shit down here.
I know. I was born
Fair
and
enough.
raised there. So
Oh,
that's why
really?
it's- Yeah.
What parts were you from? Don't dox yourself, though.
Do you know where Fort Rucker is?
How close is
right.
that? How close is that to Birmingham?
Like 4 hours.
Oh shit!
I'm deep south, man.
Okay,
I'm
you're down on the
deep
coast.
south.
Then.
Close to Florida, yeah. About two hours from the coast. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm up here by Birmingham.
We call that Yankee territory.
Northerners. That's what I tell everybody. I'm like, they're like, where are you from? They're like, Orlando. And I'm like, you're a northerner. You know? Oh, shit.
What's going on in world news, man? Anybody know?
Not a lot. I haven't paid too much attention to news lately. I go in spurts. Like I'll pay a lot of attention to it, and then I'll not pay much attention to it. Just, you know, if nothing exciting is going on, I'm kind of just tuned out.
I was barbecuing all day, so I didn't really get into anything.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't paid too much attention. I get tired of the you know, the circus, watching it. It's just like a repeat, rinse, you know, over and over and over again.
Yeah.
You heard any cool stories lately, Kazoom? I know you keep up with stuff pretty well.
No, nothing in particular right now. So nothing lately.
The only thing I heard is over in California, they had a big bill go through to protect mutilation of kids under 18, you know, for getting the change and stuff. And they wanted a bill that stops anybody from doing that till they was at least 18 and have a mature mind enough to because that's something that you can't just fix, you know.
Hey, there ain't no fixing any of that.
Yeah. So they had a bill come through that it was gonna, you know, it was gonna be a law that you couldn't get it done. The doctors couldn't do it till the person was 18 and make up his own mind. In other words, nobody could just sign off and say, "Go ahead, kid. I'd rather you be a girl," you know, and or I'd rather you be a guy, you know. That let them get some maturity to them so they can make a decision on their own. And every Democrat voted against it.
That's just crazy. I mean, I think most people, I mean, like Kazoom, you know, lean left a lot on a whole lot of things, but I mean, you would think that would be kind of a sane rule, right? 18 years old, make those kind of decisions as an adult.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know.
I agree. Yeah. You
Like,
shouldn't be,
I don't
if
care.
if you can't get a tattoo when you're under 18, then you shouldn't be able to do this either. So,
Right, and I don't even want to compare it to a tattoo. I mean, but I see your point. But you know what I mean? That's a lot more drastic than a tattoo.
oh yes, much more drastic. I'm just saying.
Right.
Yeah. If you can't do something that's not very drastic, why should you be able to do something that's drastic? So,
Like that's a nightmare thing. Like, you know, when you think about it, have you ever seen what those like fake peckers they put on on
You
the
will
women
live
wanting to
see
become men.
horrors beyond your comprehension.
Right. I mean, have y'all ever seen those pictures of what they actually look like?
Mm.
It's
You
absurd.
know how they do it?
It's absurd what some of these things look like.
The doctors that are doing it need to be treated like the Nazi doctors.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, you're not even old enough to go get a bottle of whiskey to drink. Go, what the fuck did I do? Give me whiskey. Oh, you're not old enough to buy it? Get the hell out of here.
Right.
Well, the issue comes down to these schools and these higher ups, basically bullying these parents into going along with it. If the child says so, that's one of the big problems of it.
Well, the problem is these parents are grooming those kids
Yeah.
to think that they are wanting to be of the opposite sex. So by the time they get to be 18, well, they're going, yeah, I do want to do it, because they were groomed for the last 18 years by their own parents.
What's
yeah,
up, Flatty? Good to see you.
brainwashing.
Who is that? Who is that Hollywood lady? It's like she has 3 kids and they're all trans. And there's no odds that could possibly support that as being.
Yeah.
That's definitely an influenced
Mhm.
situation.
It's almost Munchausen by proxy.
right. 100%.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Which is just that. The problem is that's a huge mental thing. I think it goes so much deeper than just, oh, that person's, they're different. No, that isn't it. There is something mentally off for you to want to. I mean, it's horrific for the things that those kids have to endure to become what they are not. And so,
It's like a nightmare.
Yeah.
Like when you think about it, like trying to comprehend that in your mind, it's like a fucking nightmare.
yeah.
To even think like, oh my, like I'm gonna like elect to have this surgery, like walking in there, like you don't like see a reflection in the glass when you like, this may not be a good idea. I'm gonna go cut my pecker off. It's like, no, this is gonna be horrible. It's like, well,
And
I don't know.
have you seen pictures of the results of surgeries?
Well, that's what I was saying earlier.
It's Frankenstein stuff. I mean, it's really it's gore. It's
Yeah.
it's ugly.
is.
It's not it's not something that should be promoted.
And then the ones
Doctors
that
doing that
that
too.
are the guys that are wanting to become women that are having their, I mean, the things that they have to have done to themselves to get them to what they want to call a woman.
well,
It's
yeah, it's like,
horrific.
yeah, they say, oh, it gets infected. You have to. It's basically
And
Your body
Well,
will
the
reject
the
that.
artificial vagina has to constantly be dilated or it
There,
closes
thank
up.
you. There you go. There you go, Kazoo.
And then it's the Frankenstein ones are the other way when the girls get the dick added onto them. It looks like some of them look like
Well,
a damn cone, that you practice soccer with or something, or
Yeah, and then and to get that skin, they've taken skin off of their legs or their arms, and it's oh my god, it looks
And then
like
they
a
rot.
it looks like
Isn't
a
it-
Nazi looks like a Nazi experiment or something.
And isn't it basically built up off the clitoris? Like they build it up off of that? Isn't that their whole process? Like, and that's where all the feelings come in. That's kind of how I took it. Like,
fucking nightmare.
I know.
Back in the days, you'd be out there with your buds and hanging out and going, "Hey, Bobby, I just got me a nice set of Krager wheels." He goes, "Yeah, I just got some BBCs." Now it's, "Hey, Bobby, I got some Krager wheels." "Hey, Robert, I got a vagina."
I'm stretching my hole.
Oh, man.
Wow. How
We
are
can go
you?
parking now, Bob.
If our country treated it
Tell us
like
more, gutters.
if our country would go
Not
back
me.
to treating it like the mental illness that it actually is, because it is a matter of the brain, what's happening to them, it's up in their head.
The programming,
Yes.
exactly what it is.
Well, a problem has become mental illness has become almost encouraged. It's almost overly it's incentivized. I guess that's a better way of saying it. That people have just bought into that, and it needs to go back to call a spade a spade, and that's fucked up.
Let's just go back to sense, okay? Just pure sense.
Common
We
sense.
can't call it no, it ain't common anymore. So you can't
it's not
call
that
it
common
sense.
anymore.
You just go with sense.
It's like these people that are like you're talking about transitioning. Well, hold on. You guys said we have pansexuals, we have demisexuals, ham and cheese sexuals. Well, hold on. Why aren't you transitioning to a pansexual or all this?
Sexuality isn't a gender, so those don't, that doesn't line up.
But what I'm saying is, when they transition, they're either going to be a male or a female.
Okay.
To show he was a man 100 years from now.
So what I'm saying is, if we're to take that serious, then what are they supposed to be transitioning into, calling themselves that, other than a male or female? What are their reproduction characteristics?
Well, yeah, I mean, someone's not going to you can't transition to something non-binary. That makes no sense. So
you can't transition your chromosomes.
Yeah,
don't give them any ideas.
It's all confusing, man.
That's what gets me is it's so damn confusing that you're like, well, he's a trans male, or he's a trans, like which one means what? Like, and when you have to put this much thought into things just to try to figure it out.
I just saw a new one today. They're called transbians. They're trans lesbians.
Oh.
So technically a straight person with extra steps?
I have no idea, but they're called transbians.
It's just it doesn't make any sense. And the fact that they want you to accept there's something wrong with you if you don't accept this. It's like, wait a minute. I did not sign up for being fucking insane.
I don't believe in harassing or driving them to suicide or anything, but at the same time,
questions is not a bad thing, though.
I'm not going to be forced into accepting something that I don't have to.
Right. I'm kind of there. Let me say, hey, Big Dog Ma, good to see you. Good to see you. Would never purposely go out of my way to be mean to somebody or be just, I'm not going to go out of the way. Now, am I going to sit there and address them as ma'am when it's a guy, or vice versa, and I'm standing there? No, but at the same time, I'm not going to purposely address them the opposite way. Tell me your name. If you want to tell me your names, whatever the hell you want it to be, Loretta. From now on, I want you to call me Loretta. Like the Monty Python skit.
Yeah.
Then I'll just call you Loretta, whatever. I'm not going to spend a lot of time. But see, here's my deal. I'm not going to spend that much time with this conversation. Like, I probably won't even have to say your name at that point, but I'm not going to purposely go and say it the other way, or say, you know what I mean? I'm just not. Yeah. I'm just going to avoid it. I'm going to avoid it. I'm just going to avoid the whole thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a pretty accepting person, but I don't want to be, I'm not going to put myself into situations where I have to deal with that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when I don't understand it at all whatsoever. I saw a funny thing here. Let me see if I can pull this up. This was actually pretty funny. Some asshole will probably come and copyright me for it or something, but this is pretty funny. All right, here we go. Share screen. X. This is pretty funny right here. All right. Make sure the volume's up so everybody can hear this. All right, here you go. This is how things seem.
Don't you see how this could be offensive to a real, authentic Mexican?
Hey, can I just say that I'm Mexican and this doesn't bother me at all? Because these tacos are great.
Okay, sir, I appreciate your feelings on the matter, but I don't need you to be a mouthpiece for an entire cuisine. Okay, as long as a white man's doing the cooking, I won't be eating here.
Oh, I'm not the cook. Guillermo's the cook.
Guillermo? Okay, wow. Guillermo. Let me guess. You've got some poor Mexican dude back there slaving away for $5 an hour so that you can call these tacos authentic. Excuse me, senor. You don't need to work here. You can open your own taco truck.
Guillermo doesn't speak English.
야, 고기도 필요해.
기다려.
말 그만하고 빨리 움직여.
알았어, 씨발.
I'm just surprised you actually don't know what to be offended by right now, do you?
This is like watching a computer glitch.
Don't you see how this could be?
That was pretty funny.
That is literally the problem.
It is always the the super like liberal person that is like offended by everything, and almost a lot of times you can see it. They take it over to where they're the racist one in reality. You know what I mean?
It's so often white women too.
Oh yes, 100%.
Well, it's like the white people that do that shit. It's like, well, you're talking about something that you're contradicting yourself. It's like, why would they listen to you if you're a white person with the argument you're making? You know what I mean? It's like you're not making any sense. You're
P
literally
Digits
saying
is
white-
asking, was that a Babylon Bee video?
I didn't see their watermark on there, but somebody might have cropped I don't know. It's very much like a Babylon Bee, but they watermark everything. But
Yeah.
the way it was cropped, it very well could have been.
The inability to see yourself see the irony in your own words is just astounding. You know what I mean?
Now this is pretty funny. What's up, Kentucky Blue Balls? He says in the I can only sing it like feeling like Simon and Garfunkel. But when I find myself in times of trouble, Julie Andrews comes to me singing words of wisdom, do re mi.
The sound of music.
That's pretty good. I like
Man,
it.
it's just weird that she came up. Just earlier today, a video came up of Julie Andrews in concert in Tokyo from 1977.
Oh wow!
When was
How
that
old
movie made?
How old would she have been in
That's
the
a
70s?
long time ago now.
Yeah.
How old was she, Kazoo? I mean, could you like roundabout?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, you didn't see the video. You were just
Well, no, I saw it, but it's really hard to tell how old she is. It wasn't a very good quality video, so
yeah. Okay.
You know who's still alive?
Who's
Dick
that?
Van Dyke.
yeah, he's 99.
That
William-
motherfucker won't die.
William Daniels is too. Oh, Kit from Knight Rider, Mr. Feeney. Wow,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it's
Willie
hard to
Nelson's
imagine.
Still kicking.
he's 93.
Yeah, my grandfather, it was right before COVID started. He passed
Clint
away.
Eastwood.
He passed away about, I have to guess now. I have trouble remembering dates, but it was about 5 or 6 months before his 100th birthday. I remember, and it was like almost made it to 100. That's
I'm 39.
My grandmother just died like 4 days ago at 88. So
yeah. Sorry to hear about it.
long time, but yeah.
When you start though, you look at people, in their 80s and 90s, and you can look at them and go, "Wow, they lived a full life."
Oh, absolutely. She lived a very full life. She was all over the place. She was in Vegas during the nuclear tests and shit. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and Baker, Kazum is always welcome in our elite snob club of, the microphone elite club. Baker, yes, Kazum is always.
Oh,
welcome.
I see.
We have a snob stream we're about to put out, and Kazum, you are welcome any time that you would like to join. So.
Oh, I
All
would
right.
hope so.
Like the two Muppet guys in the Muppet Show.
Mhm.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Oh, too funny. So, what else? Any other funny clips or anything anybody's come across? I like finding the ones that put. Did you see Kamala came out and did a speech? Did you see that?
No. What about the one that LW Sinus.
Oh, that's the one I sent. Like, I'm not playing that.
Oh, I did. Chicken shit.
Oh, I'm not going to. Here's Kamala's first appearance. This is pretty good. Pretty insightful right here.
In fact, please allow me, friends, to digress for a moment. Okay. It's kind of dark in here, but I'm asking for a show of hands. Who saw that video from a couple of weeks ago? The one of the elephants at the San Diego Zoo during the earthquake? Google it if you've not seen it. So that scene has been on my mind. Everybody's asking me what you've been thinking about these days. Well,
She's just gone batshit crazy at this point.
She solved world peace with that one.
Oh my God. That woman, I mean, how so annoying.
Her voice gives me the willies.
She's just phony. Like none of the Democrats wanted her, ever at any point ever. And they just threw her in there and she just annoyed. She was like the Hillary Clinton 0.5. You can't even call her like the 2.0. She was like going backwards. They went backwards from Hillary.
Yeah, I just still think, when Biden was shown to be incompetent and he dropped out of the race, there should have been a vote. Absolutely should have been a vote. They shouldn't have just, let's just go with Kamala. No, there should have been a vote, and we probably wouldn't have Trump as president if they would have done that. So
sure you would have.
If the Democrats would have gotten someone good.
But in my opinion, my humble opinion, I think the Democrats had done way too much damage by the time that vote came along. I mean, they flooded our country with illegals. They've been ripping us off forever.
No one
with
voted for
these
Kamala
NGOs
anyways.
and stuff. Just stop.
I think, to Kazoom's point, I think it would have been a closer election than what they had. I don't know that I think Trump probably would have won anyway, because I don't know.
I mean, the thing that Democrats were running on is the notion, guess we're not Trump. It's
Right.
it's not running on actual policies and being proud of those policies. It's, I'm not Trump. And that's just not a way you're not going to win that way. So,
Well, see, and they have a big problem on their hands right now. And it's because they've doubled down on so many of these crazy things that are so far left that nobody in the middle. And their biggest problem is they have to vote in these packs now, and I know both sides have been pretty bad about that for a while, but like a Democrat they can't vote across the aisle at all. And they've gone so far left that they have to stick with those people there. They could have dropped Kamala out, and who would they have replaced her with? Because there's not, Gavin Newsom, that would have been their best bet, and he would have lost. So they were kind of fucked. And they don't have anybody who's the new rising star?
Pete Buttigieg would have probably lost too, even though I kind of like the guy, but he would have probably lost too. And they wouldn't have been able to, no, wait, AOC is 35, isn't she? And that's who they're going to try to push next. They're going to push for AOC next.
Please.
Huh?
Please put AOC up there.
Yeah, they'll probably try to push her as a vice president next. I could see that running under somebody else that's real extreme as well. They're going to lose again. If they do that, they're going to lose again. They need to find their way back to the center in my opinion, to win more elections, because you're not going to win with AOC. And they need to find somebody new, and they will. They're gonna find one. They'll find another Obama, or they'll find some slick talking, younger looking, very educated sounding, somebody that comes in and smooths everybody over. They're gonna find that, but they need to learn. Obama, you look at where Obama was he would be called right wing now. By some of these
Yeah.
people.
If you're,
I think someone who I think might have been able to beat Trump would have been if Tim Walz would have been, running for president and then, not have Kamala involved at all. But I think Tim Walz, he is a decent speaker. He's a good public speaker. Maybe not quite as good as Obama, but he does a good job at that. And he was halfway decent at promoting policy. So I think he might have had a chance.
His baggage was way too much.
I will say this for Democrats, they better be paying attention to the swing states, because Texas has got a blue wave going on of people moving over there, and where else it was Florida's getting them.
Yeah, it's happening everywhere. I don't think anybody would have been better than Kamala, but I say anybody, not anybody.
Well, not
but
anybody, but I know what you mean. Yeah, I know. It was hyperbole a little bit, but
Right.
but it's true at the same time. So,
But I don't think Tim Walz couldn't have done it. His baggage with being the fake, military thing and the stories lying about military service, and there was so much that he was getting called out on. He would have been
the main thing I knew of being called. I didn't know about the military side. I hadn't heard about that. The main thing I heard people complaining about is they were calling him Tampon Tim because he wanted to put tampons in men's restrooms.
Right. That was a big, just a taunt, because he really did, and that was a taunting thing, everybody taunting him. But no, he had the whole thing where he, like false valor, he claimed and it was turned out he actually copped out of the thing and didn't even go. And he was, and all the people he served with had came out and were like, dude, you're a fucking liar. When we were all getting shipped off, you turned down the thing and retired instead of going. And he went and he was, well, I misspoke. Nobody misspeaks about going and serving in Iraq.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
That is true. I can vouch.
yeah, you don't go, oh, well, I kind of thought I might have been there or something. It's just not that. Hey, Kentucky Blue Balls, man, coming in here with a $5 super chat. Thank you, man. He says, I think Democrats should have auto pin by the next presidential candidate. Or I think auto pin should be the next. Yeah, the whole auto pin with Biden. That's pretty bad. But hey, man, I appreciate the super chat there. Much appreciated, sir. Here's a cool little song. Much appreciated, Kentucky Blue Balls. Love you, man. Love your channel, too. I watch all your videos. If y'all like football videos, the guy makes good football videos. Sub them up. Really. Here's Chuck Norris talking about it, which I think is kind of interesting.
Question for you, good
Yeah.
sir.
Actually,
Why are
met
you a
George
conservative?
Norris.
Well, I used to be a Democrat, but unfortunately, the Democrats went too far to the left, and the Republicans moved into their position that the Democrats were 40 years ago. See? And so what the Democrats believed 40 years ago, the Republicans believe today. And so I realized that I had to go to a Republican because the Democrats just got too far off the trail. They just got completely off the trail and lost all reality of what America stood for. And so I realized that Republicans at this point in time are more focused on what is best for America than what the Democrats are.
Man, when was that recorded? If that's him currently, he looks pretty good still.
Yeah, he still looks like he's in his 50s.
I mean, I think that video is probably 10 years old, 8 years old, but it's still, still kind of stands true. And they haven't corrected. That was kind of the point of playing it too, was they've just kept going further and further. And they're losing those people that are in the middle, because I'm pretty in the middle on most things.
One of the biggest concerns for me with Trump is just how far he's going with the deporting illegal immigrants. How far he's going with it. I just think there's a point when you start making the populace scared. I completely agree with him on securing the border. We should have a secure border, but man, I'm concerned that there may be a point where, because there may be a point where they start going into people's individual houses to try to search for illegal immigrants, and
like they did under Obama.
I mean, without a warrant.
Like yelling Gonzalez.
Yes, like they did under Obama.
What do you mean? Obama did that?
Like they did under Clinton.
Yes, Obama has deported more than any president. He was a Democrat. The news didn't cover it. See, that's the big difference here is everything that Trump does gets blown out of proportion and covered. You don't remember the Obama thing when they had the pictures of the SWAT teams in there with their guns pointed at children and they were deporting. He was known as the deporter in chief. I mean, that's a nickname that his legacy carries on as the deporter in chief. He deported more illegals than any other president.
Isn't Hillary Clinton on record saying the same thing?
Yes, Joe Biden too.
Yeah.
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 Let me ask you a question. Which one are you against them deporting? The murderers, the rapists, the full-time criminal? Which one do you want in here? Don't want in here, or you want here?
I want the people that aren't committing crimes shouldn't be. I don't think we should go after those who are not committing crimes.
Well,
if they're committing crimes, deport them immediately.
They committed a crime by coming into the United States.
See, that's no.
That is a crime. It is.
I don't consider that a serious crime. If that should not just being here illegally shouldn't be enough to be considered committing a serious crime.
Okay, let everybody say their points and then the other person talk. You know, so like Kazoom's talking, just let him talk, and then other people. That's how a conversation happens.
Tell Fool's wife that she has to go wait 4 or 5 years to come into the state and jump through every freaking hoop. But you can just come on in. It's okay. That's not a crime. It's a freaking crime. It's an invasion of our privacy, of them coming over the fence without coming in legally. There are legal ways. That's why it's legal entry and illegal entry.
It shouldn't be considered a serious crime. It should be considered a lower crime. It shouldn't be looked at the same as someone who killed someone or someone who raped someone. It's wrong to put people who just came here illegally the same as people who came here illegally who murdered someone. They should not be put in the same category.
I'm not putting them in the same category, except they're both illegal and they both deserve to be expunged from the country for that reason alone. So don't you know, and I understand and empathetic. I can be empathetic, but they broke the law coming across.
Well, and
Fool's wife's been waiting 4 or 5 years to become a citizen, doing it the proper way. How fair is it?
12 at this point.
I agree. It's not fair when people do that, but I just don't think it should be considered a serious crime like murder or rape or any of that.
Right. They even gave them another chance and said once the administration came into play, the administration said, "Okay, if you come through the proper channels and start doing your paperwork and doing what you have to do, but you got to come in and go through the process of turning yourself in, and then we can deal with it properly so that you aren't the bad guy in this." Well, a lot of those people did not do that. And again, back to the whole thing with, if you come here illegally, what do you think they had planned? If they came, why wouldn't you, if you were coming here and not planning on doing things that you shouldn't be doing, why wouldn't you have come through the proper channels?
Because it's very difficult and time consuming, and some people are just trying to get asylum. Some people are trying to get asylum.
Okay,
and if
but that's, everybody in this world would like to be able to get everything just quicker and more efficient. But that's not the way it works. this is our system. And why should some people have to go through the system a certain way and others not have to go through? What should be their punishment? If you do something such as you break a window and you thieve stuff out of a store, you are held accountable by having to pay the damage that you did and for the goods that you took, on top of whatever it is that they have for that whole, the whole thievery of it. So there are things that you have to pay for, and there are certain consequences that have certain levels. And if you come into this country illegally, part of your punishment is to go back and redo the whole thing, however you have to do. But if you don't, and we have to take you, pick you up, and bodily take you back there, then you're not coming back.
So here, let me ask this question.
Opportunity to do it correctly.
Because see, I like open conversation without, like, I don't want, like, don't turn this into a thing to where, like people are lecturing other people. I like an open conversation. I like that. And so, Kazum, let me ask you this, because this is kind of something that I have had to deal with, as far as figuring out immigration and doing, like the proper way and doing it right as you should do it. What's up, a beer and Backroads was a person. Good to see you, Jared McCoy, as well. What do you present? I mean, I agree with you. Yes, there are somebody who kills somebody, somebody comes here illegally and kills somebody, or, rapes somebody or does something like that, isn't the same as somebody who comes here and is not committing crimes. Okay, I mean, like, that's obvious, one, that's apples and oranges. But what do you propose the crime is for just coming here and illegally? What is their crime? I mean, what should the punishment be for them? I mean, it's a fair question.
I'm not. I'm not sure to the answer to that. I don't know the answer to that. I just know that I'm concerned that they get treated the same as those who have committed serious crimes. I just know that they need to be different.
I don't see that happening.
And then something else that's going on with Trump right now is people who have committed crimes, he's sending off to a foreign prison.
No, he handed them over. He handed them over to the president.
Right, those people are getting sent back to their home place where they have crimes already committed.
Yeah,
a lot of massive amounts of them are just immediately being sent to the horrible prisons in El Salvador.
Where are you finding these facts?
I don't know, just from looking at different news articles and
like
lots
the
of
one
people
big
talking about it.
big case, which, like, I know you're probably referring to, the guy, where they're saying, was he MS-13? Was he not MS-13? Well, he's been
Kilmar Garcia.
Right. He'd been convicted of crimes in El Salvador and is in an El Salvadorian prison as an El Salvadorian citizen.
I don't remember.
And he was a known M13 gang member and had been charged with human
in El Salvador. He had crimes against him in El Salvador, and that's why the president was like, they were like demanding that he send them back, and he's like,
the main crimes I remember I've heard about him committing are battery of his wife, and that's no good. That's not something to take lightly. But still, those are the crimes that I had heard. But
he'd already been deported from the United States and then come back, and he had charges in El Salvador, and now he's in an El Salvadorian prison as an El Salvador citizen. I mean, and they're like, oh, we got to bring him back. Why do we have to bring them back? We don't owe these people anything. And I don't I agree with it. And I am empathetic to these people wanting a better life and wanting a thing. The whole world can't have a better life and come to America, though. I mean, like, we have to have some sort of sane immigration, and it is a crime. There's no other country in the world that you can go to and outstay your 30-day visa without getting in some serious fucking trouble. That's happening here all the time. What is it? 40% of us people who actually legitimately seek asylum are approved. The other 60% are sent back already, and that's not Trump, that's Biden, that's Obama, that's, I mean, 60% of the people, it's fake asylum anyway. And these people aren't even seeking asylum. They're not even doing it the right way. They're just sneaking in. And then they sit here and they work and they live in these places. Tax dollars go to this, I mean, I'm all about being nice to people and I love people and I want, the whole world, to be happy and, blissful. But you can only do so much. And we're blessed to be Americans, but everybody can't be an American, and you should come here and do it right. So, I mean,
I'm fully on board with making the border more secure. That's something that I think is a really good thing about Trump. I don't think any of the other recent presidents have secured the border like Trump is doing. So I got to give him good credit there, because I don't understand how there are some Democrats who now argue, and they wouldn't have 15 years ago, but they would now argue that, no, we don't need a strong border. No, just let them in. Oh, no, open borders. There's so many open borders. AOC, to me, is someone who promotes kind of the concept of open borders, and it's stupid.
Well, I mean, you get where it changes elections. It changes everything. When you have all these people living in the United States illegally because of sanctuary cities and because of things like that, that changes election results. That changes who the presidents are.
And then when there's politicians try to make laws that make it so that illegal immigrants can't vote, the Democrats vote against it.
Yeah.
But see,
and then they wonder why people are saying that the reason why they want the open borders is so they can import voters.
It's exactly the reason.
Yes, that's exactly what that is.
Well, and that they really, that's why they have sanctuary cities, and that's why they push them to these places. I don't think you have tons and tons and tons. I do think you do have a lot of people who illegally vote in elections. But it's funny how all the states that, like every state Trump lost, didn't have voter ID. It's like, oh, that's fishy. He won the ones where you did, but he lost the ones where you didn't. But it's not the fact that the illegals are being pushed into these places and voting. It's the facts that, when they do those census and things like that.
Well, they were here in Oregon. They were pushed here in Oregon.
Let me finish my point. Let me finish my point before I lose it. It's the fact that the census matters as to how many electoral votes are given out to certain places. The census counts whether you're legal, not legal. It's just how many people are living there. So if you doubled California and it was the other half of it was illegals, they might not be able to vote in that election, but now they're getting how many electoral votes? Because of that percentage, they've gained another 3 small states worth of votes across the country. And they are counted as far as electoral votes, how many people are living places in the census. Mm-hmm. That's a fact.
What was that government app that the illegals could tap into to be incentivized to come over here?
I have no idea.
I can't remember what it was called, but it was basically our government was going around us and getting them to come over here, incentivizing them to come over here. And then when they went to places like California, they were getting first-time homeowners insurance help, all this aid and whatnot, being put up in motels and hotels and having them built for them and all that.
What's up, Timber Traveler? Good to see you. Well, it is ridiculous. Like, I don't know the exact numbers on it. I like knowing numbers on things before I say something, but the amount of money that they get monthly, these people who have come in here and people that are, 70 years old, work their whole lives, are getting less from Social Security than these people are getting. It is a crime.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I don't know the exact numbers on that, so I hate quoting anything. What's up, Magic Angel? Good to see you as well.
Yeah, I don't either.
Vandy Dandy, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Yeah, and Vandy Dandy, I realized, and it was really hard to get in then during Clinton and during Obama and during, all that. I know people who made a whole lot of money here and couldn't get citizenship for 10, 15 years. And it's just different people now, but everybody else kicked them out. It happened then, it happens now, and it should keep happening. I don't know. Do it right or don't do it. It's kind of like the thing if you, like, say you were young and you were going to meet, like, your date's father or something, and you walked up. It's kind of like shaking their hand when you walk in the door, like, hey, sir, I'm such and such. I'm here to take Mary Jane Rottencrotch out on a date, and you're that young person. You walk up, hi, sir. I'm TF. I'm, here. It's kind of the same thing. Like you go in with, this is me. I'm here. I'm doing it right. And then it's when you're already cheating the system, you're never going to respect it. You're never going to respect what it is if you're already sneaking in. That's just the way I look at it. I mean, what do you think, Zoom? I always like to hear your thoughts. I like hearing other people's thoughts. I don't like living.
I hate to admit this. I got lost for a couple of moments. I was looking at the other screen, and there's a bunch of comments on something, and I got kind of sidetracked. So I missed part of what you said. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. I mean, just what do you like? Any thoughts now that you've thought about it for a minute? What the punishment should be for people illegally entering the country, or?
I mean, yeah, I do think that they should be deported, but I just, yeah, as long as they're not being sent to a foreign prison, I guess, as long as they're not like being put in our jails or whatever. I don't know. I guess you're right. They probably should be deported. So
it's one of those things, like, you feel like in your heart you want everybody to do good, you know what I mean? But there has to be some kind of structure. It can't just be no holds barred, anybody's allowed here, and that it just is what it is.
Well, I mean, like I said, the part that drives me nuts is when people push for open borders. That's just nuts. That's just absolute insanity to me.
Well, it also matters greatly, especially like with 4 years ago when they opened them up and was allowing all them people to come over here. We didn't know if they were diseased or what they were carrying when we were in the middle of that going on 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So they got to get a better handle on that.
And they always have. Every president's pushed for that. I mean, like I said before, Obama was the biggest deporter of illegals. They hated him. I mean, the people from Mexico and South America, they hated Obama because he was throwing out so many people. I mean, he was the deporter in chief. What's up, Erica? Good to see you. Yeah, and they just make a big deal like Trump's the devil. And it's, I don't know. You gotta have some kind of rule. And I do agree as well that they need to fix the immigration system to where it's not so hard. But like, even like dealing with the things with my wife is, I mean, there was a 2-year period where her green card was expired. And she was still legally here, but all she had was a piece of paper saying, due to massive influx, blah, blah, we are behind and will be use this as a form to like clear yourself. So like she was supposed to walk around.
That'd make you nervous,
right? Like you're supposed to have that in your back pocket everywhere you go. And it's different when you're running to the gas station, but when you're traveling or trying to do, getting onto airplanes, going to different cities, getting pulled over in a different state for speeding, like, oh, I've got this piece of paper. It's like, and they're backed up because of the people doing it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's like if I may say, old Germany, papers, please. You know what I mean? Let me see your papers. That's fucked up.
But it's you know, I don't. It's a hard thing. They need to solve it. I mean, we're not going to solve it here tonight, but
No, hell no.
it needs to be. The whole thing needs to be looked at. It's just kind of like the other thing with the, like we were talking about before, with the sex changes and stuff. We got to look at this with sanity. It can't be about you got to take the empathy out of it.
Oh, can we talk a little? Lorraine brings up a good one. She said, but separating children from their families after crossing over is a crime against humanity.
Well, yeah,
Here's the
it is.
deal. So and Trump explained this several different times. I listen to Trump often. And one of the things that he talks about is, and so did Tom Homan, he also explained this. When they say, okay, mom's got to go back to Mexico because she's here illegal, and she had this kid here, which seems stupid to me. That seems stupid. But anyways, the kid can stay here. The kid can go with somebody here. The government has said, yes, you can. If you can find somebody to watch a kid, whatever, and you go back and get your shit together so you can come back, go for it. But you can't stay here. You have to go there. And if you want to take your kid with you, you're more than welcome to. Well, I would think any good mother would say, I'm taking my kid. I am not leaving my kid for love or money. I don't give two. I would take my kid with me. I know I can protect my kid better than anybody else. So
That's because
no
you're
way.
a good mom.
Yeah.
What
And
about
Gutters,
those-
I think
but
too,
there are some people who are so desperate that they think that their kid would have a better life without them, and to at least be in a country that's possible to have upward mobility.
That's fair too. I get Gutter's sentiment, and I get yours too, Kiz. But yeah, I mean, it's a hard decision.
well, here's the thing as well. To that point, if you as an American citizen are driving down the road and you get pulled over for DUI, they're going to separate you from your child. You're going to jail. Maybe it's your third DUI. Well, you know where you're going? You're going to
for a
prison.
long time.
And you're going away and they're separating an American citizen. You know why? Because you broke the law.
That's right.
And
So
they're
why
putting your kid in
should he be
foster
treated-
care.
Yes.
Yeah. If you're dumb enough to drink like 12-pack of beer and then decide you need another 12-pack and get behind the wheel, yeah, you're fucked up. You've done fucked up.
Yeah, but that's beside the point. If you commit a crime as an American citizen and do something, maybe it's not DUI. Maybe it's, who knows what crime
Jaywalk.
you did.
We'll go with jaywalk.
Well, it's not. They're not going to put you in jail for that. So it's got to be something relatable that you're actually going to jail and they're separating you from the child. But say you commit some kind of, Ponzi scheme or some kind of thing like that as an American citizen. Now you are, and they're separating you from your child and they're putting your kid into foster care and you're going to jail because you broke the law.
Yep.
You can't pick and choose who gets to break the law, especially you can't say, well, just because they're not from our country, they get a pass on the law. It's still the law. We got to abide by our laws. So do they. We all do. It sucks. A whole lot of laws, I hate them. You know what I mean? They suck. But we still got to abide by them. You still got to file taxes, don't you?
Well, fair enough. Let's reverse it. Okay, say I'm an American in Mexico, Central America, somewhere, or South America, and I break the law of the land there. I'm not going to get a reprieve because I'm an American. I'm just not.
No, you're going to maybe make a $10,000 15 years later for telling your story on Locked Up Abroad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, yeah.
That's all you're going to get out of it.
My prison nightmare, yeah.
So basically, his argument comes down to the treating of them humanely, right?
Yeah, and I agree with that. People should be treated humanely. They shouldn't beat them on the way out the door. But if they are, I mean, the ones that they show you, oh, look at these people. Those are the hardened criminals who have done these bad things. And yeah, they're chained up. getting sent away. But if you're raping people and killing people and doing that, fuck you. You know, and I agree.
I don't care what
They're
they
not
do.
going to do that to women and children who are breaking the law. Kazoom, to your point. Yeah, you know what I mean? You have to look at it from both sides. Which people they're showing you the pictures of these. It's the same thing as the kid, you know, that like stabbing the other kid at the thing, you know, and they try to make it out like, oh, he's a perfect person or blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you know, they always show you like paint it in this one picture to pull at your heartstrings. Yeah. And then you look at it in reality and you're like, well, this is black and white what it is. You know.
And you know how cops are, man. When they come in to arrest somebody, they consider you armed until they find out you aren't. So, you know, I mean, to say it's inhumane, it's not inhumane. It's self-preservation for them guys. You know, I mean, they go every day, put their life on the line to fulfill and get people to follow our rules, and you know.
And they got a shitty job.
And
I don't agree with the way I don't agree with the way they shouldn't come in there thinking you're armed. I mean, they should in reality, but they shouldn't have that right to treat you any differently just because they chose that job. I mean, they should come in and treat you as, you know, as a citizen walking right up to you.
Are we talking about individual police departments, or are we talking about a posturing as a federal agency?
Well, there's a difference there, because I found a bunch of local cops are cool people. The local cops, hey, look, you don't fuck with nobody, we won't fuck with you. But the feds, if you get the feds involved, there's a difference there. Yeah.
Well, because the feds have only not only, I'm going to say, because of the amount of resistance that their presence creates, they have to have a certain posture and maintain it. And it depends on whether they are an asset to the investigation, like they are an assist, or are they taking point?
Yeah, are they a liability?
But
yeah,
they could also let local PD do whatever they want up until, because they have, when it comes to when it crosses state lines or it becomes a federal jurisdiction, but it's being managed inside a locality, they typically do like the locality to manage it because they think they have a better amount of success than if their presence is there.
Well, they have more knowledge of the environment and the people that live in it than the feds do, because the feds haven't been there.
No, because they're usually stationed out of either a very urban area or one of the many East Coast areas, which means they don't have understanding of locality.
Yeah.
Did y'all see that bar that was busted with over 100 people, illegals in it? That had prostitution, had drugs in it, guns.
Yeah, it was an underground club, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had not heard about that one.
Let me address this real fast. Lorraine saying, didn't think they'd ever reunite them because they didn't document who they were. They could have taken DNA from everyone so they could be matched later. Remember, that was in Trump's first term. That was the big thing he was doing because of so much, child trafficking through the southern border. They were making people prove who they were and who the children were. And they were screaming separation because he was, taking the kids and they were having to go and get tested and do the DNA test so they could match the people up. How many people, Biden did away with that thing that he had set up? What did they lose? Like 300,000 children under the Biden administration or something like that are now unaccounted for? Because
I think your numbers are too low, but
I'm being conservative.
I can't cite an official one at the moment either. Well, we saw this with some of the leaked footage from, a TSA employee talking with, I think it was another federal agency, because migrants are going on nighttime flights where TSA has to be there for security reasons and handoff. but the show is actually being ran by somebody in Homeland Security, I believe.
Yeah, what's his name? Gutters, you said his name a minute ago. Who's the guy, Homeland Security guy? He's kind of got a wisp.
Tom Homan.
Tom Homan. Yeah, that's who's running that.
That's I think I don't know if he's running Homeland Security, but I know he's the border czar.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's the head. I think he is heading up a special committee or a special project or a special task force.
Isn't Homeland Security the young boy there? What's his name? Gosh.
I'm not sure. I forget. Yeah, Lorraine, that's the problem. You can't trust mainstream media. Everything's pulling at your heartstrings. They don't give you the facts. I mean, you don't think the people were still getting deported under Biden? Yes, they were. I mean,
no, Biden was the deporter in chief.
No, that was Obama.
Homeland Security was Christie, the
that's right.
Yeah. Biden was the importer. I don't know what would you call him? The open border chief,
the deporter in chief at the
resident.
time. But he was also he also imprisoned more journalists than any other American president had ever done, including Lincoln, because Lincoln imprisoned a shit ton of journalists, but our population was not as large back then.
Who were you saying did this the most?
For which subject? I said
just now. Were you saying Biden?
So I thought Obama was the deporter in chief, but at the same time, he also imprisoned the most amount of journalists, because the journalists wouldn't talk about who is leaking information to the press.
Well, yeah, and he did the most drone strikes of any president ever.
Yeah.
That's why I said earlier, Obama would be considered right wing now, if to a lot of these people. Obama would be looked at as, he's far right. Yeah, they, you know what I mean? And a lot of his policy that they based everything on.
A couple of subjects, yes, but like
which are the biggest subjects?
Thing, Tim Pool makes this constant joke. It's like, we're having we're doing a survey, or we're doing a poll for support for Obama, because one of his drone strikes involved killing a minor, an American citizen minor. And the way that he was doing his mock-up is, we got to go and protect Obama because one of his drone strikes killed that kid. I forget the name of the kid. I don't know how much involvement it was, but his father was the target of the strike.
Right. Yeah, I remember that when children died, and it was bad. None of it's good, and shit happens under every president. You know, I've said it a million times. If you agree with everything if you agree with every 100% somebody says, or disagree 100% with something everybody does, then you are in a cult. You are in a cult. If you're
probably
agree or disagree 100% with anybody, you can't.
Yeah.
Baker said, didn't Rosie O'Donnell just get deported from Ireland? Did she? After fleeing from Trump's America, where's the outcry for Rosie? Did she get deported from Ireland?
I don't know if she got deported. I know they weren't happy with a lot of the stuff she was doing there.
I know she said she was struggling there. She said it wasn't quite what she thought it would be.
Yeah, she thought she was going to get received with, Rosie's here. Like there's going to be a big fucking parade. Everybody's like, God damn it, we get Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh, man.
Where did Ellen DeGenerate go?
Mm-hmm.
You like that play on words there, degenerate?
Oh yeah. I remember Rosie O'Donnell blocked me on X a long time ago. She did this thing where it was her swimming in the water outside of right by Mar-a-Lago, and it was her and her daughter in their boat, and they're swimming there, and they just made this post, and I redid it and put her head on this fucking whale, that was in the water and commented it was right after she did it, and it was like blowing up and getting all these, and she blocked me, and her daughter actually cussed me out and stuff. It was funny.
I have to laugh at what I just did. I just typed did, and just typing EL is, but did Ellen DeGeneres leave the U.S. and I just typed did EL. And it finished the sentence for me.
Nice.
So it's a lot of people have been asking that, and I guess she's
in
I think
she's in London. I thought
she moved to the UK.
Okay, the UK. Well, good.
Yeah,
for her.
she's been there for a bit, but I also heard her complaining about speech laws and the environment that it is out there right now, which is pretty terrible in the UK.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Well, I'm sure she fits right in. She looks just like every other British guy.
Yeah, but the whole let's just say running into I guess there's no way to sugarcoat it. The migrants that they have imported into their country are not being very respectful of the opportunity that they have been given. They are hooligans at best, and at worst, they are everything we're hearing about, the snuggle struggle gangs, just organized crime in general, people who do not assimilate well with Western value.
Well, wait, are you talking about the UK or New York?
I think UK applies more because New Yorkers.
Okay, fair enough.
I would think that, but I also think New Yorkers wouldn't have tolerance for such things as well. Not the indigenous population. By indigenous, I mean the people who've been here the last 250 plus years.
400.
Hey, I'll be right back. I'm just going to grab a soda.
All right.
Yeah, you say that now. But fair enough.
No, I'm not. I know I've seen New Yorkers when they get really tired of the protests. I've seen them out there going, "Stop it! This ain't doing a goddamn thing to help your cause, and it's disrupting us, and we're annoyed." But that's the polite way of saying it. An actual New Yorker is going up there yelling and screaming, "Get the fuck out of here! Rah, 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 rah. You're fucking it things up. Get out!"
Well, they only cover. You can take. I mean, sure, you can get 20,000 people, 50,000 people to show up to something that they care
New
about.
York, yeah, it's
In a city of what, 3+ million?
Right.
That's not hard.
It's not that many, but when you pack them all into one small place and show it on the news 24/7, it looks like a ton of fucking people, but it's not. You got all the other people that are like, I just want to go to work.
Exactly. When you interfere with people's ability, your protests interfere with people's ability to make a living, you're going to see resistance, and you are making a humongous mistake.
I love the videos of the people like pulling up to those things where they're trying to get to work or they got something going, and there's those people like sitting in the street and they just go up and drag them off of there and run them up. Yeah, like
out of the way. Yeah.
Imagine,
but you got to be careful about which locality you're doing that too, because that could be considered illegal or assault.
Mm-hmm. But okay, imagine this. Imagine you were like on your way to the hospital and your wife was in labor and you got stuck in that. What would you do?
Thump, 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 thump.
Don't ask questions you don't want answers to.
But you know what I mean. No, anybody can answer that question. I mean,
well, that's going to be.
We all know the
individual. There's got to be individual specific answers because some people will capitulate, and then some will go the extreme route of hell hath no fury, like somebody trying to give birth in the middle of a roadway.
Well, my car weighs 5,000 pounds. That kid weighs about $1.80 at the most. Yeah. I'm going to win.
Fair enough.
Some of you
They're going to get up.
What's that, Ella?
Oh, I was reading comments in the chat.
Oh.
Okay. Some women aren't either.
No, I think if you're gonna protest and protest legitimately, are you going to be a nuisance? Okay, I can accept that. But what you should not do is interfere with my ability to do my normal daily activities. So no blocking roadways until you get what you want, because that's a temper tantrum. Obviously, no obstructing emergency vehicles, including law enforcement, in any capacity. I mean, if I see them on the side of the road where the median is, I'm okay with that, because okay, I got to look at you as I pass by. I'm seeing you, I'm observing you. But you get into my way, you make me late for work, and my boss has absolute no tolerance. Like, well, then you should have planned around it. How do you plan around a fucking protest that just spontaneously shows up?
The worst is when they block freeways. That's the worst.
Yeah,
that's almost federal charges, because you're interfering with commerce.
Yeah, and you're holding everyone hostage. When you do that, you hold everyone hostage, and it's not right.
Especially emergency vehicles.
Oh my God, it's my moment. Kasumi, how many people do you think sitting in the middle of the highway blocking traffic are Republicans?
None.
They're all
that's not how the right wing protests. So the right wing, when the right wing protests, and it's a serious protest, they do things that that make changes. You know, they do something that, well, not something that make changes, but it gets a lot of attention without having to fuck everyone else over. So I'm not wording things right. I'm sorry. Maybe I didn't make any sense.
That's being taken seriously. Throwing a temper tantrum on the side of the road, that's not a protest. Or obstructing roadways or obstructing everyday normal life. That's not protest, because peacefully protesting, this may be my opinion. I don't know what the legal opinion is that constitutes it, and I think there are probably going to be many levels on the legal side. But at least for me personally, a peaceful protest is something that I'm going to have to look at, and if I want to know more, you're right there for me to go up to you and talk about and get to learn more.
Yeah, but
not an obstruction to a necessity that everybody has a necessity for.
And the same for not obstructing people from being able to get into a college, physically. Mm-hmm. There's been protests, anti-Israel protests, where they've went to colleges and blocked people from going into the school.
But that's your
how very tolerant, how very inclusive.
Hell, they locked that one group in the room. Remember, like they basically had to hide in a closet, and they wouldn't let them out. They were detaining those people, basically keeping them hostages.
That's false imprisonment, which is FBI territory.
Yeah,
and
it's
FBI,
also dumb. It's also dumb.
One of the things the FBI doesn't fuck around about is kidnapping.
Those people didn't get in any trouble. They didn't get in any trouble because they were on some, university.
But there are, what is it? The reaction team that the FBI has. They pulled triggers faster than I did.
Fair enough. But yeah, the thing
I'm sure
is,
they're badass.
Well, the thing is about.
Go ahead.
Okay. No, go ahead. Finish your point.
I'm only saying that because when they're deployed into an operation that's live with massive amounts of people, or whether it's a enclosed area, because the FBI reaction team, I forget what it's called. It's not QRF, like the Quick Reaction Force or SWAT. They got their own acronym for it. but they are exceptional killers. But they also have very extreme trigger discipline because they know that they're going into areas that are going to be surrounded by civilians and non-combatants. It doesn't mean that they're not going to loosen up on those restrictions if they're going up against a large protest and there's an imprisoned amount of people behind them.
Jared McCoy asked a question. He goes, define terrorism. And I think that would be Hillary in public without makeup.
Fair enough. That is fair
I think the
enough.
legal definition is using tactics to terrorize a populace for political gain.
Yeah, we know what it is. I'm just trying to make it a little funny.
Well,
that would actually I say qualifies.
One person's terrorist is another person's freedom fighter.
Revolutionary.
Yeah, you see all
freedom fire.
You see all these people going crazy though, Consumi, and they're sitting in they're doing that kind of stuff. They're screaming at the poor little Israel people over there at college and stuff. Do you ever just clench your feet and go, "Yay, team"? How can you choose that side, that kind of lunacy, that kind of barbarism, as that's the side I wanna be part of? And I do have to agree with Fool that the Republicans are more like the 1950s Democrats now. We're in the middle row.
The Overton window shifts, but the Overton window in the last 20 years has made a dramatic and extreme shift.
Well, Democrats, like I said before, are screwing up, and they're choosing to die on a hill of things that the majority of Americans don't give a rat's fucking ass about. They do not care about transgender surgeries. They do not care. The majority of Americans, I mean, every poll,
That's not a voter issue.
Yeah, I know, but when you make it one and talk about it and push that, people turn against you. And one of the biggest voter issues, and you see it, is people, the majority of Americans want the immigration shit fixed. They don't want illegals everywhere. And the Democrats are dying on these hills of these things like that the majority of Americans are like, I agree with this, I agree with that, but I'm sick and fucking tired of this.
Now, what's interesting is how Europe, even though in so much of Europe, they're being affected far more by the illegal immigrants than we are here in the States, just because of the size, the population and the size of the land, right?
Right.
And yet they're still doing they're still having the opinion of open borders and just let them all come in. Oh, look, let's give these people housing. It's just like,
I think it's
it's kind of destroying parts of Europe as far as the culture. And then they have to worry about all these knife stabbings and we haven't had that nearly. We don't have it's a tiny percentage of the problems they're having in Europe with the illegal immigrants.
One of the most beautiful things about traveling, about going other places and seeing things is the culture. When you get somewhere different and you see their culture, that is a really cool thing. And all these, European countries, like Kazum saying, I mean, they all have their cultures. And you go to these places, and that's the culture. There is an American culture as well. It is different in the South as it is, when you get over to Texas, and then as you get, and then you get from Florida. The U.S. Hang on, let me finish my point.
No, go ahead.
The U.S. is like Europe. It's the same size, basically. As that. So you could break it apart like that. There's all the different cultures. Go to Asia, there's different cultures. They want all these people not to assimilate, but everybody that's in that culture to assimilate to them. It's fucking ruining the world that you can't go to these places. And I don't want to go to France and have it feel like I'm in Dubai. I don't want to go to. I want to go to France and it feel like I'm in France. I want to go to Italy, feel like I go to Italy. I want to go to Tennessee. I want to feel like I'm in Tennessee. I want to go to New York. I want to feel like I'm in New York. And they're wrecking it.
Or Chicago, yeah, or
So-
LA, yeah.
Look at some of the other non-Western nations that have these open border policies. What are their immigration policies?
Oh, fuck around in Poland and find out.
Yeah, and most of these places they're going to keep their homogeneity, which is their ethnic peoples. Race is irrelevant. It's
Lorraine.
ethnicity and culture. As long as there are not enough people to possibly create a disruption as far as immigration to the home culture, most of them are willing to allow a small portion. We're talking about somewhere about 1% to 2% or lower, but those are also going to be high skilled workers. They're not going to be refugees. They're not going to be low skilled. Japan or most of Asia, look at their immigration policies. The Arab world, I think most of us whiteys here would not be welcome. Let alone would we ever get a visa equivalent to go there, unless we are of a high value to them and we also have to convert. That's going to be a condition that they're going to say is, well, you're going to have to prove your conversion to Islam.
No, Lorraine, I've seen some ugly women in politics too. I'm just saying, y'all ain't no prize either.
Oh, man.
I don't care.
And you know what, Lorraine?
It's because they stay there so long.
I made sure I didn't take it personal to anybody on panel. You know Hillary's an evil woman. You know she's an evil woman, but yet you'd rather chastise me about me making a funny comment and take up for an evil woman who is responsible for a lot of deaths. And you know, come on, man. You know, we're here to crack you up. We're not here to try to piss you off, or are we? You know, because not everybody agrees.
Oh, no, she didn't offend me. I just,
you know.
No, I like the jokes. I like the jokes back and forth. The banner, I love the banner. Nobody here, we don't have. I like to feel this is always a place people can be, you know, themselves and not have to worry about it and say whatever they want. Everybody's welcome here.
Absolutely.
Do I have ill will against comments that go against my stance? No, I just ask you to back them up so that way I understand why you come to this conclusion. And if I think you're incorrect, then maybe I want to introduce evidence that I think will convince you. If it doesn't, I made my shot. If
What's up, Maven? Maven, good to see you.
I've never dyed my
hair. As long as we are not being the devolvinists when it comes to discourse, we could disagree all we want. And I encourage it because we should never be in cohesion 100%.
I like disagreeing
maybe a crucial issue like this is life, limb, or eyesight kind of opinion or stance we got to make.
Well, you should always be challenging your viewpoints. You should never be stagnant in any of them.
Yes.
Hey, dude, I flipped on issues before that at first I scratched a line in the sand and said, "Hey, don't you dare jump over that line." I drawed my line. But you know, then we have a conversation. I go, "Well, you know, kiss my ass, I'm wrong." You know, you make sense. And
see, and I like talking to people like I like talking to people like Kazoom. Kazoom's, you know, like a little bit to the left. It's not that extreme. Like you can't. And then Kazoom, like answer, like, would you agree with this? Like you can't have a conversation with somebody who is like that extreme left that is, just batshit fucking crazy. You can't have that.
Yeah, and where everything is about oppressors and the oppressed and the progressive stack and there's a side, there's a wokeness. I wish I could I am not very good at wording today, so
well,
I'll just let me summarize. I'll say that yes, I agree with you. There are some people on the far left. There's just no way to have a reasonable conversation. But it's the same as there are some Trump supporters who have reverse TDS where Trump can do no wrong.
Yes.
Yes.
And those people are impossible to talk to too. Where everything that he does is 4D chess, and if you disagree, you have TDS. It's just like no.
Here's the thing, and Kazoom, you're absolutely right. The thing that I take issue with when criticism is when you come at somebody, me or anybody, in a negative way. Like it's how you come at people if you're gonna correct them or they correct you or whatever. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to criticize. How are you approaching that person? What are you treating?
But
them
you're not speaking to Kazoom in specific.
No.
I know that. Yeah,
this is generality. Yeah,
Right.
this is generality.
Just making sure. I knew that. I was just making sure everybody did.
No, he's all right. He's right.
No, I love Kazoom.
Just come at me with facts.
It's
That's what I'm asking.
Hey, look.
Right.
Look, here's the deal. I question everything.
Yeah.
Even myself.
As we should.
Yes. And most people don't. They get in this lockstep mindset that they're right and everybody else is wrong. No. I will question you and I will question me. If you say something that sounds right to me, I will, hey, maybe I was wrong about that.
Clockwork.
I'm glad you finally realized that. Right.
Clockwork. It was actually 2 years ago. I was wrong. It was. I finally had to feel what it was like to be wrong. And I think it was like 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago.
Well,
it's been a while, but yeah, there was that one time. I'm just joking. I'm joking. I'm just being an ass.
If you say something wrong,
me too. I thought I was wrong, but then I found out I was really right. But I'd already switched sides, and
if
if
you say something, and I've told the guys on my channel, don't ever be afraid of criticism. You're going to be criticized by people. Not everybody's going to agree with you. You got to expect that. It's how you come at me or I come at you. That's the deal. If you come at me like a pompous asshole, like you know more than me, or the attitude or the ego or the self, right? Yeah, we're gonna have a time coming to
nobody's interested in that conversation because it's not an inviting conversation like
not a conversation
where it is.
If you
I think you're incorrect. I think I have.
All right, one at a time. Like people figure out. If you say, so go on and finish your point, Outlaw.
Well, what
Outlaw,
I'm saying
please.
is there's a right way and a wrong way to approach somebody with correct information on stuff. Like, for instance, if you're wrong about something and I know you're wrong, you don't bash that person's beliefs or their appearance or shit like that. If you're genuinely trying to help them out and correct them, or there's a right way and a wrong way. We can agree to disagree. That ain't the problem. The problem is how are we treating one another who are wrong?
How do you approach someone who thinks Trump is playing 4D chess?
Yeah.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
You're talking to Duggar. Right. You're talking to Duggar.
I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna make it simple and clear. He is not a god. He is not a demigod. He is not even a fucking nothing but an egotistical, arrogant, brilliant man. Is he right all the time? Hell no. Do I agree with him all the time? Hell no. But for the biggest majority, he's a God-fearing, American-loving president who didn't need the money to come to work for a couple $100,000 a year to run our country. Maybe he did it for an ego, or maybe he's seen our fucking world going to shit and he's our knight in shining armor, blessed by God by less than a millimeter.
King
away.
Arthur. King Arthur.
Damn right. He pulled the sword out of the stone, bitches, and he's got my vote. He's the best president I've seen in 65 years. Most transparent. You know, I knew he's going to be my hero when the left started attacking him for no reason other than he's fixing to throw a wrench in their little money making schemes. And
I think he's done
something. I think is interesting is when it comes to people having more extreme or divisive opinions. It's on the left. It's the young people who have the crazier opinions, and on the right, it ends up being some of the older people who have the crazier opinions. And I just think that's an interesting. And I think it has. I don't know.
Hey, I'm 39.
Have you noticed that?
Me too, Gutters.
Like I know a very few right wingers who are extreme who are younger.
Yeah.
You want to know what I think you can attribute a lot of that to? I think that these people who are older are stuck in constant mainstream media news cycles. And because they're older, they're bored, they have nothing else going on, they're constantly watching the news. And they're whatever news channel that may be. The young people, same thing. They're going through these things, going through puberty, going through getting through, this first part of life. And they've become consumed by these universities and these things telling them there's all these fake problems in the world that they need to be worried about. And they're sucked into the exact same thing as watching the mainstream media. And they probably start getting sucked into, following Occupy Democrats on Facebook or blah, blah, blah. And they think everything is the fucking Republicans are killing your grandparents and taking away it's they get sucked into that. So I think that's kind of the thing. The people in the middle, you know who the people in the middle are? Trying to pay their fucking mortgages off. They're trying to pay we're all working. We're all doing stuff.
We keep our bills paid. Yeah.
Well,
people
are actually too busy to care about voting because they've got more immediate concerns.
That is bullshit.
I have found recently that both Dems and Republicans, a lot of them, don't even represent the party that it used to be anymore. You got a lot of extremist activists on both sides that have blown the parties out of proportion so badly that they don't even represent a fraction of what they both used to. It's like we're not even watching classical political debates happen anymore. We're literally watching streaming matches and, like theater. I call it theater.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the so many people on the right will call those that are on the left, they'll label them communists, and so many people on the left will label people on the right fascists. And it's that divided now. It's communism versus fascism. And no, not really, but that's you'd think that if you go by what people are saying.
Have you ever listened to real quick? Let me give a Kitty. What is up, Kitty XO? Good to see you. Good to see you. Have you ever listened to Kazoom? I think I might have mentioned this to you before. One of the most interesting things that'll probably get you flagged by some kind of, alphabet agency for watching these. But have you ever listened to the AI speeches that they do that are of the Hitler or Stalin or Mussolini?
Oh yeah, where they make it so it's still his voice,
yes,
but he's speaking in English.
Yes. Have you listened to these?
Yeah, I have.
A lot of them?
Not a lot of them. I've listened to probably 3 of them. So
okay, go to the ones where it's Hitler giving his closing argument at his trial. Go to the ones where Hitler's giving his at the beer hall, whatever, those rally speeches, and you see what these people were going through. And I'm not saying I support what he's saying, but I can understand why the mass majority of these people coming out of World War I, living in poverty, living in, and he brought this thing to the people. and the way he presented it, I mean, fucking brilliant. And you listen to the ones with like Che Guevara, you can listen to Fidel Castro, you can listen to it's so many people, and it's awesome in their voice in English. It's amazing to listen to.
And just so you know, Kasumi, I lean more independent, libertarian than I'm not an extreme right winger. I voted for Obama, and I get a lot of shit. I get a lot of shit from his first let him in. I said, give the brother a chance. What the hell? Let him in, and because I liked he had a good, he's very articulate, and I voted for him. Especially after the Bush debacle, so.
But I mean, say what you want about Obama, but he was one of the best orators we've ever had.
Exactly. And I did vote for him the first time. The second time, I didn't vote for him because I could see through his cloud, his treachery. But I'm just saying.
Your new nickname is O'Dugger.
Hey, Travel. Kiss my Harry. No, just and it ain't Harry. I promise you, I'm Greek. So and Irish. That's a double non-Harry thing. So anyway, I'm just saying. A lot of people think I'm just
hated that
extreme right guy, and I'm not. I'm more of an independent. I'm going to vote for the guy that I think is going to do the best job. I'm not. I hate the party things. I think they should be done away with. I think
Obama made sure to wake up the racism back into the.
He really did. He really did.
Really stirred that shit right back up.
That's why I chose to vote for somebody else. That's why I dumped Obama in his second term. And so, I mean, you never judge the book by its cover. Trump is non-stoppable, dude, because he brought back common sense. Y'all keep saying how he's bad. Tell me something he's done that he hasn't promised. Okay? Everything he promises, he gets accomplished.
No, not necessarily gets accomplished. You can't say that.
Yeah,
he attempts to do everything he says he wants to do.
He fought him tooth and nail his first term. But I think he left part of the wall down because he knew the liberals' plan, and it was going to blow up in their face to mass import all these people, which it did. And I'm telling you, we couldn't have took another year. We could.
Well, he hasn't. One thing's for sure is he hasn't ended the Ukraine war. Not even close, and it looks like it's going to be getting uglier soon.
I think that's going to go bad. That war is not going to end, and he shouldn't. When he made that statement, I remember thinking,
yeah,
he shouldn't have made that statement.
I think that was a terrible statement to make because he can't control Zelensky, and he can't control Putin.
Zelensky doesn't want to end that war.
No, but
he's a dead man if there's no war.
I saw today where Trump and was it Zelensky settled for the precious mineral rights?
The rare earth minerals that they have, which means we have an investment, which means
we're insuring our money is what it means. Just like every European country who is giving them money is insuring their money. We're the only one that's not. We've just been giving them fucking money. Everybody else has been insuring their money. Why shouldn't we be insuring our money?
Now, something I want to mention real quick.
To expanded war.
Trump made these promises that he would lower the cost of a lot of things, and his policies are only going to guarantee the cost is going to go up on a lot of things.
Eggs are down, gas is down, overall.
Wait, Doug.
He has no control over either of those things.
You're right.
Sure he does.
You're right.
Out of oil.
No. So Kazum. So I agree with you. He shouldn't have gone out there and said those. He said a lot of stupid things, and all candidates say a lot of stupid things when they're running. But I do think
the tariffs are going to cost. They're going to cost us so much money. It's going to be so expensive for so much.
If just to play devil's advocate to your argument, if it doesn't work that, you do know there is a possibility that that's not going to happen, right? That prices will go down, or at the same time,
no, they're not. They're
people
they're
start
not already
making
going down. No.
especially
on imports from China. It's
but
going to be at least double.
Shit, we don't really need it.
That's right. We don't need it. That's all shit that falls apart as soon as you get it. And here's the deal.
But most of what
those companies that are in other countries, they are going, you know what? I just watched an entire briefing of him going over with all these companies that actually brought their money to the United States. And I mean, it is billions and billions and billions of dollars that each one of them brought to the country. And I mean, to me, it just shows right there. It's exactly what Trump said. These companies will realize that they need to come to America, and
they already are. They are coming. This is another thing. Things that presidents do today, you don't see the effects of in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. It's kind of like the drilling for oil. Biden could say, we're still drilling. We haven't stopped drilling. But what they weren't doing was issuing any new permits. It takes 2 to 3 years for people to get a permit to drill in an area. Then they have to bring in prospectors to see if there is any oil even there. And then they have to make roads. And then they have to, set the things up. Like, these things don't happen for 3 to 4 years. And, when Biden could sit there and say, we're still drilling, we haven't stopped, it's because of what was done at the beginning of Trump's term. And these things go on and on. I'm not sure if the tariff thing is a great idea or not. I don't know yet. I know that one of the things they want to go with is lowering Americans' income taxes and things like that. And, you have to look at things in different ways. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Maybe it's not going to be a great idea. Maybe it is, but we don't know. You can't go off of a week after it happens.
Okay.
It has to be a decision.
For instance, Trump wanted to have companies like Apple make their products in the United States instead of China. Well, his tariffs have made Apple choose to manufacture their stuff in India. And somehow this administration called that a win. How is that a win? We were supposed to bring back to America, and now it's to India. How is that a win?
Well, India and us have a way better trade policy than, so I mean, if it's getting us the product cheaper than us paying, Chinese tariffs and stuff like that, then that could possibly be a big win. I mean, we are big partners with India.
Yeah. And another thing, over 100 days ago, I was paying $4 a gallon for gas. I paid $2.70 for it today. I bought 2 cartons of eggs for under $5 today. Over 100 days ago, it was $5.60 a 12-pack. So things are starting to come down. I mean, he's been in there 100 days. It's not like he's been in there 2 fucking years.
The thing with the eggs, though, that was all about the bird flu.
Right.
That's why the eggs cost so much. It didn't have anything to do with what any president did at all.
Yeah, same thing with the doubling of
one at a time.
Right. I'm just saying this. The sparrows and the crows and all the other birds are not dropping out of the air. There's no mass production in birds. If chickens are going to get it, then the little sparrows and shit that are jumping down in their feed would get it. So, that's bogus. Nobody's ever really been really that scared.
Yeah. And Duggar, that's neither. Oh my God. That's neither here nor there. I agree. Those are like, this isn't an argument to have or a discussion because this is kind of pointless.
I do want to clarify that Apple just actually committed to investing $500 billion into the U.S. over the next 4 years. So, I mean, this is what I'm talking about. They just had a huge meeting on this, and there are tons of investors that are coming in right now, and they have been coming in. He's getting, the other day when he had this conversation, they had 90 countries that had already signed up to bring their stuff into the US. So and have it built here. So it is happening. I just think that we got to give it a chance. It's only been 100 days, for God's sake. Biden took 4 years to fuck it up so bad that I mean, I don't know that Trump's going to be able to fix it in 4 years, but in 100 days, I think he's doing a damn pretty good job. Not that he's perfect, though.
Hey, I'll be right back. It'll just be a few moments.
All right, cool. Yeah, I don't. We'll see what happens with it all. But a lot of the stuff he's doing, I really like. A lot of it, I don't know. I'm hoping it works. I hope every president works. I don't root for my demise.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I just give him time. I think it's going to work out a lot better than people. I think there's going to be a lot of garbage and a lot of influential people are going to get caught up with a lot of the evidence they're going to bring out on both sides of the aisle. I think them being more transparent is a good thing, not a bad thing. So, everybody, get the popcorn ready. That's all I'm telling you.
Yeah, we'll see. It's going to get interesting. Duggar, you don't have to do that. Duggar just gifted out a Traveling Fools membership. Let me see who got it. Look at that, Kitty XO. I love when somebody. Yeah, look at that, Kitty XO. Heck yeah! Thank you, Duggar. Here you go. Thank you very much.
Give me my wiggles, man.
Was that
Thank
my
you,
avatar?
Best damn $5.
Yeah, I mean,
Was that
she's in the running for better ass than Andrea.
What? Wow.
I don't care.
Andrea will not stand for this.
I love her.
So Traveling Fools, are you still there or are you still gone? Okay.
No, I'm here. I haven't left.
Just 3 quick points. I wrote them down because I think they're important, but I didn't want to interrupt or be a disruption. So earlier people were it was what is it? I wrote down argue the point. Always argue the idea. Don't go do an ad hominem attacks against the person doing it. Attack the idea if you think the idea is incorrect. Don't attack the person because that just doesn't lead to anywhere in any debate.
Yeah, we try to do that here.
The other point I wrote down, they don't like it when somebody of the donor class gets out of their lane and becomes a politician. And that's relating to Trump because he supported both parties. He played both sides.
Well, he was a Democrat.
And then he was, he may have registered as a Democrat. How he voted, unfortunately, that is a matter of record. But I think that's a Fourth Amendment violation because I get notices of who I voted for in elections. I don't think any letter like that should ever go out to anyone.
Exactly.
And the third one, I didn't write down, but it was just off the tip of my tongue, and it was just talked about.
Spit it out.
We're gonna have to table that until I can remember if I can. But no, I just didn't want to disrupt the conversation.
Was it the companies coming back to the U.S.?
Did you write this in English? You said you wrote them down. Did you write them in English?
I write them in cursive, actually.
You're fucked.
Nobody writes cursive anymore. Jesus.
Yeah, kids aren't taught cursive anymore.
Actually, my kiddo has been taught cursive in our school district.
Oh, okay.
I'm thankful for because it is a dying written language. And I don't think it should be. And I don't think it should be relegated to a signature line. I think for those who want to practice it, just write in cursive because it is very free form. And for those of us who have maybe a propensity to inflammation or arthritis in the wrists, it's a lot easier to do when you're doing handwritten stuff. And we're not totally away from handwritten material.
They did an experiment recently. So Michael J. Fox recently wrote a book in cursive, and 99% of the students under fucking 12th grade couldn't read it.
Considering Michael J. Fox's affliction, that would not be surprising. Granted, he's made a lot of headway, but he's only extending the end of life that's going to happen to him eventually because of.
All right, we're telling bad jokes now, so that was the point. That was the point. Moving the conversation on.
Sorry,
keep it going. Keep it
I didn't get. Oh, I got the joke. I didn't follow through.
I thought the guy was a time wizard myself.
I know. Imagine him trying to write out of time on the back of that license plate now. Jesus Christ. Tell him what that would say. That'd be like one of those
they've been trying to remake that.
Yeah, that'll be horrible.
Make that franchise for a long time, but somebody's getting in the way.
Right. Yep. Exactly. They should never remake that.
No.
Never.
There's a reason why those films in
I blame you, Gary.
In the era that they were made should stay in the era that they were made.
Why couldn't they have done that with Star Wars?
Or the Scarlet Letter?
Star Wars, what Star Wars should have been done, it should not have been sold to Disney. It should have been sold to like Stanley Kubrick or somebody like that. It should have gone the other direction. It would have been so much better. Just somebody, they should have brought in directors like Tim Burton do one, Quentin Tarantino do one, and like brought it down that way and given it to other people, not Disney. That regular Wars.
I don't know. If they would have had different directors, I don't know whether that would help if you don't have good stories and good screenplays. But Disney's.
The stories were already written, most of them, weren't they? That was my impression. Well, I thought that's why it was. Hang on. I thought that's why it was, the whole nerd thing now, episode 4, 5, 3, 1, whatever, Empire Strikes Back is 5 or so. I don't know. It's kind of like the sex thing. I don't know what to call people. But I thought the episodes were already written and they started at 4.
Yeah, those were. But I'm saying once Disney took over, all those new episodes were not already written.
All that shit.
None of that was already written. That's all Disney stuff, and Disney's writers are crap.
Right. That's all them trying to keep something going on and bring in. Okay, we got to bring a woman in to be the hero here. I hate all that stuff where all of a sudden a woman's got to be the hero. I hate it. Hang on, dude. Hang on, Noticer.
Sorry.
Hang on, man. I hate all the things where they have to like bring in a like a woman to be the champion or the tough person or the like realism. Like, give me realism in movies or in anything I'm watching. I don't want to see some fake thing where all of a sudden this 5'4" freaking model, can beat this fucking 300-pound biker's ass. It's
but how about
nowhere in the world that'll happen.
How about Kill Bill?
I'm not a huge fan of those. No,
you didn't like Kill Bill, really? Because that was a Quentin Tarantino movie.
I know, and I love Tarantino, and those I didn't hate it, but at the same time, I had that. I'm just like, God damn, come on.
I just think I think that was an example of a movie where you can have a strong female character and it's not poorly written. It's actually written well. That's the writing is some of the main reasons why some of these characters suck.
I know,
You
but
can't,
isn't
you
there
can't have them.
something to
You
be
can't
said?
have them going against impossible odds, and then just I can just swipe my hand and the enemy's gone. It's just stupid. You got to have something. You got to have at least.
Give us a reason to hate the bad guy.
I don't know.
Not make
Kill Bill.
Marys
Kill
too?
Bill at least made sense. She didn't have ridiculous odds.
When it
I
comes,
mean, at least in comparison to what you do
But
in Star Wars.
I agree. I agree with that. I do agree with that. But I don't like the movies where they make the woman. And I agree with you. It's just not. It wasn't my favorite movie. Not just because of that reason. It was just. I don't know. It just wasn't my favorite Tarantino movie. Does that make sense?
Fair enough. My favorite is still Pulp Fiction of his. That will always be my favorite of his.
Absolutely.
My favorite thing he's ever been involved in, which was what got him into the industry, was True Romance. He wrote that, sold it for $50,000, and got in there. That is the best story play that he's ever done. True Romance. That movie is fucking brilliant. I mean, the all-star lineup in that is.
I didn't know he wrote that.
Yeah, that's what they gave him $50,000 for that. And
yeah, because I've definitely seen that one, and that was a good. I didn't know he was involved in that. That's interesting.
Yeah, give me Death Proof. I love Death Proof.
Death Proof. I love that. What was it, Stuntman Mike or Stuntman Bob?
That's what made him to make his own production company and have 100% control over production.
It got him into
and development versus being a. Well, they say, oh, we're going to pay you $50,000 for this. Oh, we made multi-millions out of this off of your hard work, and we're not going to give you a bonus.
It's the movie industry. It's cutthroat. That's the biggest.
From what I understand, the accounting of the movie industry is all movies make no money, which is how they stay afloat, or how these production companies stay afloat, because they're constantly producing films that make no money. That way they get tax breaks, or a specialized tax break, because
it's the business. It's called the business for a reason. It's been going on. It's the oldest mafia you can really look at.
Look, let's be honest. The woman lead stuff, the LGBT trans stuff, the gender and race swapping shit doesn't sell. It doesn't sell. It doesn't make money. So what did they do? They bought out their competition, like these people always do, which Disney has the power to do. And they put the people in there they wanted to put in there that was going to toe the narrative. They couldn't beat them, so they joined them. Now you got all these DEI hires writing stupid shit, costing them billions of dollars, hemorrhaging money. Same thing that's wrong with the comic book industry and music and everything else. You've got infiltrators and activists that are masquerading themselves as writers and passionate people of these projects when they're really not. They're just activists with the power to do stuff. It's ridiculous. And at some point, people are going to get tired of it. That's why I don't watch anything past 2010. I just don't.
Yeah, my opinion on all of this is that the United States has become creatively bankrupt. I'm not saying the United States. Hollywood has become creatively bankrupt, and they think that if you change up these demographics, that'll make up for it. It's just like, no, we're creatively bankrupt, and I don't know how we're going to get out of it.
What do you think?
You look at the taking it back to what I was saying before, like women in roles. A woman can have a strong role in a movie. I mean, you look at and still be a woman. Even Alien was kind of over the top. But like go back to the first. Like who was the first African American woman to ever win an Oscar? Think about that.
It's a good question.
Well, it is a really good question. You know what she played? Was a very strong, influential black woman as a slave. Hattie McDowell, Gone with the Wind, Best Supporting Actress, Oscar, right there. and she played a strong woman, a strong thing, in what you would look at now as one of the craziest like a controversial situations. But she played that fucking role and played that influential character of, Mammy and Gone with the Wind. That's fucking awesome. A woman can play a great character. Look at Adrian and Rocky. I mean, even look at, these people, they can play these roles. I'm not saying that a woman should have to be like that person or anything, but real life, just give me real life. There's so many roles that women have, women are, and things that women have done. Focus on that, not trying to create a fantasy world where some 5'4" fucking Instagram model is beating up a 500-pound biker at a bar. You know what I mean? Like, don't show me that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're not wrong. I think the idea of strong woman has been warped throughout the multiple decades, especially after the 60s. Instead of complimenting men, they are competing against them.
Yes.
And I think it is that competition that has poisoned the sexual dating marketplace of today.
Yes.
A lot of the writers and producers and directors and actors are all getting old now. So the newer narratives are coming in of, inclusion. It's totally fucked up our movies. I mean,
thank God for people like Wes Anderson and even the Coen brothers are getting old now, but I mean, they were like a refreshing, bring back of good movies. Wes Anderson, Tarantino coming in there Tarantino's like a modern day, what's his name? Oh shit, Chinatown. Shit. What the hell's his name? Come on. Who? No, the guy that did the crazy movies, Rosemary's Baby. Roman Polanski. Thank you.
Hey,
I don't like that controversial director of the Roman Polanski of the modern.
He comes with his own baggage.
Well, they both do.
But it didn't help that his girlfriend was brutally murdered by the Charlie Manson family.
Yeah, and then he ended up banging 12-year-olds or 13-year-olds after that.
Well, that probably really fucked him up for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Not saying
no
it's
excuses.
An excuse. Well, it could be an explanation, but he also needs to serve time for the wrongs he did because what is it? I think also it's another horror flick. I forgot the video, but it's one of the. It's a horror movie. I don't know if it was The Exorcist or not, but they were filmed in a haunted house. They filmed a haunted house movie, and bad things happened to everybody. And Polanski was a director, but it was before he was very well famous.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to see if I can look that video up another time.
Oh, please don't ruin Wonder Woman for me, Baker.
Yeah, my daddy had a special name.
Well, anything that you have an appreciation for, there's a scandal behind it.
You try to take Linda Carter from me, we're gonna have problems. Damn it, that is Wonder Woman.
My daddy loved Wonder Woman. I mean, he loved her.
It's a great show.
Yeah. A great show. Well, yeah.
Oh shit! I just realized
I wonder if they've
remastered. If you're heterosexual, yeah, like a man.
I wonder if they've remastered the Wonder Woman series in HD. They've done it to a lot of shows. I mean, even Columbo. You can see Columbo in HD now.
Great.
How about Baywatch? They got Baywatch.
I think Baywatch is too recent.
That show was
the old one. I want the.
What I mean by it's too recent. It has to have been originally recorded on filmed. It has to be on film in order for them to remaster it. If it was originally on video, is it a video format? You can't remaster that without AI.
Yeah, but
Look,
surely the Pamela Anderson Baywatch would be old
Look,
enough for
At
that.
least the running
Look, traveling
alive.
Possibly, because there
Look.
were some Star Trek Next Generation episodes that were on film, and they've been able to do some of those in HD. But I gotta look up Baywatch now. How old is the show? When did it start? I gotta look this up now.
And that's got to be what, late 80s?
Early 90s.
Look, I am a Knight Rider nerd, and the Hoff was great in that. But let's be honest, David Hasselhoff was a cheesy actor.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Worse.
Oh,
He
it
was corny
was
as fuck.
September
No,
22nd,
he
19.
was male eye candy.
All right, I want to hear what Kazuma's saying. What was that?
It was September 22nd, 1989, when the first
89.
Baywatch showed.
Yeah, exactly.
So there could be some film on that. So
Well, that was totally shot in film then.
well, I mean, it's
The only thing worth
it's a
flipping-
random crapshoot as far as whether it was, because even in the mid 80s there were a lot of shows that were just directly on video. So
Well, let's be honest. The only clip that would be worth like doing that to is Pamela Anderson running down the
Is the
beach.
Pamela
I mean, the rest of the
Anderson-
show nobody fucking cares about.
Yeah.
Finally.
Well, I was watching Dukes of Hazzard at the time, so
Oh, good Lord.
Daisy Duke was my woman.
Hey, you know, I can get her to come on and do an
Look,
interview. If anybody would ever like to do that,
Uh,
but it
yeah.
can't be like a long like a panel. You know what I mean? But I could bring her on for an interview.
I
We
volunteer.
can take
Ooh.
questions or whatever.
Yeah.
Daisy
Who?
Duke, the original Daisy Duke.
Yes, because I would love to meet her. She's one of the people I need to cross off my list on people I want to meet.
Hey,
All right.
it's for me.
No,
Well,
just
I-
do a 2-panel thing between
Hey,
you and
before
her, and
you-
we're all in the background
Well-
watching and going.
Yeah, it couldn't be a panel.
Yes!
That's all I'm saying. It couldn't be a panel.
Well,
Really?
I've met John Schneider and Ben Jones, so meeting her would be yet another person on my list.
How is Schneider
I'll
in
try to
real
make
life?
that happen.
Like Kelly on Weird Science myself.
Don't you dare reimagine Kid as anything else but a Trans Am in the 80s. That is blasphemy, just like speaking against the Holy Bible. I will.
You know, if they remade that now, it'd be a Dodge Charger.
I will not hear of this blasphemy.
It'd probably be a Prius. They'd probably make it a Prius or something like that.
Oh no, that'd be
yeah,
even worse.
Cybertruck. There we go.
Look.
Oh,
Let me make a point.
no.
Hold on. Somebody mentioned Burt Reynolds a while ago in the chat.
Excellent, excellent.
It would be sacrilegious if you swap Trigger from Smokey and the Bandit with any other car but the 77 Trans Am. It would be sacrilegious if you swap the General Lee with anything else but the 69 Dodge Charger. Same thing with Night.
You know this guy's from Alabama. He's wearing it on his chest proudly.
If you
Fucking
swap
putting
the
the years.
18 van to anything
Hey,
else but
nothing
the
wrong with
GMC
state pride.
Vandera,
I suspect he's got Old Dixie tattooed somewhere on her butt.
I know.
I'm just a car nerd, man. I'm just a 80s movie nerd.
Oh shit, he didn't deny it.
That's why I like Weird Science, man. Kelly LeBrock. Oh my God.
Kelly LeBrock was hotter than goddamn Georgia asphalt.
Hot. Oh my, she was smoking, bro. She'd take out Wonder Woman and all of them. I don't care.
Weird Science. What a movie.
Please try to replace the A-Team GMC van with anything else.
Oh yeah, you couldn't put it in a fucking like one of these new
Toyota Sienna.
Toyota minivans or something. You got
Toyota Sienna.
It's getting there, and he's
One
like,
of those Sprint vans.
How the fuck I end up over here in goddamn Seattle? There ain't no damn man vans take me to Seattle.
And as a
Wouldn't
kid,
be flying anymore. It would just be riding in an electric van or a Prius. He'd be pissed off.
I got a buddy who just spent about 180 grand on a custom van, 4-wheel drive van. And dude, that thing's an 18 van, because there's more guns in that van than a military station, man. But that thing is badass. I'd put that up for the 18th because that thing's rock and roll go up a mountainside with it. Billy Goat. It's a stomper, dude. It's the coolest van I've ever seen.
I like vans. I've got 2 of those E350s, and they're good vans. I love my E350s.
The late 90s, early 2000s.
Oh yeah,
I had a 71 Kid Snatcher van, Dodge Kid Snatcher van. Each van, you
gotta
no
paint.
windows,
You gotta
no
paint
windows,
free.
round
Paint
couch,
free candy on the side.
Yeah, I mean, we
have a 1990.
No, that's bad. That's so bad.
We had the old 80s Chevrolet bread truck.
Yeah, this was an instant hotel room, though. I love that thing, man.
A rolling.
It's funny though, real quick, because Zoom, that you say the free candy thing. I remember, like my vans always no windows. No windows. I mean, you're driving, you got the front window, obviously, and each side window, but no windows in the back. Like, that's how I want them. I don't want anybody to be able to see what's in there, blah, blah, blah. And I remember my son and my sister, they went out there and they wrote because they're work vans. They're not washed every day, they're fucking work vans. And they went in and they wrote free candy on one side in the grime dust, pollen, and then they wrote it on the other side. It was like, ice cream or something, and they're laughing. I drove around and I even went to like car wash. For some reason, it like embedded itself in there. I had to pressure wash the fucking shit off of there from them doing that, and it was funny as hell. Yeah, it was a joke.
Particular vans, because we had one, are really good if you get a 7.3 diesel or if you got an inline 300 6-cylinder.
No. Go with the V8, man. The Triton V8 and those E350s, the Triton V8.
You got
the 7.3 is a hell of an engine, man.
He got the newer ones in like 01, 02.
Yeah, we're not that fancy. We didn't get in the 2000s,
Yeah.
Suddenly, I think of the commercials for V8 and their line. I could have had a V8.
Could have had a V8. That's like the person that went out and bought. Remember when Mustangs, like in the 80s through 90s, and they still do it now. But remember when there was the 4-cylinder Mustangs, and they were like, people would go out and they'd get that convertible, like that 1987 or 1988 Mustang LX is what they called them. They had that little tiny 4-cylinder, and they were like pretending to drive a Mustang. That was fucking hilarious.
Oh, the Mustang 2?
Remember the LX? It was the LX in the late 80s, and they had the 4-banger in them. Instead of the 302, the V8, they put a 4-cylinder. And those things were the biggest pieces of shit.
You're triggering my PTSD from my Army days, because everybody went out and bought one of those revamped Mustangs in the early 2000s.
The Mustang
at a 20% interest rate too.
The Mustang 2 that Kazoom's talking about come out in the 70s, from 74 to 78, I believe.
Yep, those were horrible.
And they were awful.
It was just
not as bad as a Pinto, but they were pretty bad.
They had so they were popular with hot rodders because they had, like, I think it was a solid front end on them. You could switch out for a lot of them cars at the time and drive.
That was during the gas crisis.
Right.
Yeah, they didn't gain respect back till they brought out the 5.0.
It let Outlaw finish. Just going
somebody in the chat mentioned the SVO. That come out in 84, 85, and that had a turbo 4-cylinder. Very rare. Yeah, those Mustangs. Yeah, that was pretty good. They're pretty good cars.
Yeah, they got one with an electric engine in it now.
Yeah, the Mach-E. My brother's got one.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
You still calling your brother?
Well, he's a pastor, so, I mean.
Oh, okay.
I guess God forgave him.
That's yet to be witnessed. He meets Peter at the gate. Though I'm sorry, there.
Yeah.
You bought an electric Mustang. You can't come in. You're going to hell.
Give me.
Wow, I didn't know they made electric Mustangs. That's interesting.
They call it a Mustang, but it's actually like a little hatch-shaped car.
Shetland.
Yeah, it's like one of those electric hatchback-looking SUV.
Yeah, I'm seeing pictures of it now.
Nobody considers that a Mustang.
Well, hey, fools, I'm going to take off, man. I got to get up early in the morning and finish that barbecue duty.
All right.
Alrighty. It was good talking with you, man.
Thanks for hanging around. Assuming it was great to see you and having a discussion with you without nobody screaming mean names at each other, talking politics. That was really refreshing. Thank you, brother. And
Same here, man. That's good.
You're wrong. We're right. But he's going to leave you with that. But just remember, if you can't be proud of how they're acting, why do you want to be on that team?
Well, Kazoom's not on any team. That's why I like Kazoom.
You know what I mean.
It's a good question.
But you know what I mean. I'm not being mean. Or
I don't agree with the right's policies. So
okay,
I don't agree with the far left's policies, but I don't agree with just the general rights policies. The right wing tends to they want to get rid of safety nets and want to get rid of a lot of programs that help a lot of people, and I can't support getting rid of those things.
Well, a lot of the programs that you think are being funded are not being funded. The money's being laundered off. It's been proven time and time again. With even when Obama, who actually started the Doge outfit, not Trump. He didn't start that. Actually, it was Obama. Department of Government.
Anyway, we did really good up to this point.
Anyway,
let's not start because I want to close this down.
It was nice hanging out and talking with everybody and being controlled by fools on my speech and shit. So, thanks for censoring me, pal.
Hey, sometimes we piss people off, Mr. Duggar. You know that?
No, we do sometimes piss people off.
You know.
But I want you to know it's a Duggar's world out there. Deal with it.
Yeah, you want to see that one too? It is a Duggar world. Let me bring just getting back to that comment. I love True Romance. One of the best movies.
The biggest liberal in the world.
In my top 10. A Duggar world. We do live in a Duggar world. You know, even Kathy Griffin.
Oh,
Mr. Duggar.
And keep having as many Duggars as possible. So it's going to be a Duggar America, everybody.
Yeah, that was right after me and her had sex. Yeah, Kathy Griffin. You can tell by her hair that I pounded the shit out of her. And I love all you people. May Jesus' blessings be heaped upon you. And if you don't believe in Jesus, you're going to hell. I love all y'all. Take care.
All right, love you, Duggar. Love you, Duggar.
Hey, I got my executive suite in hell.
Wait. Kazoom, you know, one of the funniest things is that was actually a real quote by Kathy Griffin. She was talking about, you know, the Duggars having all the kids, you know, those people.
Oh, I forgot about that. So
yeah, that family. She was talking about.
Yeah,
when
okay.
Trump
Now I know.
And she was like, "It's gonna be a Duggar." That's a real cat. And I heard that, and I was like, "Oh my god, I gotta clip that from Mr. Duggar." You know, it's gonna be a Duggar America.
Well, Zoom, I share your sentiments with the religion thing. Trust me. I know exactly. Yeah, I know exactly where you were coming from on that. Yeah, you didn't have to say a word. I know. I've had people tell me numerous times I'm going to hell.
Yeah, I'm not a full-fledged atheist, but I am a pantheist. So I think the universe is a giant living thing that we're a part of. So, yeah.
Well, see, I think anybody who thinks they have the right to tell anybody else that they're going to hell is an absolute fucking moron. Like, you can't. I've met so many wonderful Muslim people in my life. I've met a lot of bad, you know, but I've met a lot of bad Christians as well. I've
It's
got
a-
Buddhist friends. I've got. Do you really think in God's model that He set up a world that only you were right? I don't believe that, and I do believe in God. So who am I? I am not God. I don't get to choose whether you're going to heaven or not.
Well, it's religion at the end of the day. It's all man made.
But you get to
Oh,
choose who
man.
you are going to be.
It's a personal thing for people.
Exactly.
You can't convince somebody who likes this to not want to do it. I'm a Catholic.
Yeah.
I don't agree with I didn't like the last pope. That doesn't mean I don't. The Catholic religion has had a whole lot of horrible things happen that have done by human error. It doesn't mean the religion's bad. That's the way I feel. You may feel differently. Religion's one of those things. There is no right or wrong in a religious argument or conversation. People believe what they want to believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and
Yeah,
people
they're
generally
gonna-
can't prove or disprove someone's religion. So
Well, hence the word faith.
Yes.
Belief in something that you can't
God for
physically
George Michael.
see, observe, or interact with. You could believe you interact with, but you have no measure of no scientific measurement that your prayer does anything for you or anyone else. But that is, I'm going to say, it is the allure of faith. And when good things happen, they attribute it to the Lord. If bad things happen, sometimes they attribute it to the Lord too.
I'm going to tell you, when I started down the red pill rabbit hole years ago, traveling full, Sean, you watch my channel, you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. Religion was one of the first things that tripped me up to thinking. And I figured it out. I was like, wait a minute. These people over in India or the Middle East, they believe in their God just as strongly as we do ours. So who's right? You
But
can't
how
all
much
be right.
of those
Your God
populations
can't all be the
truly
one
believe?
The question isn't, and this is the answer, the question isn't who is right, it's who is justified in saying who is wrong. And I don't believe that there is wrong religions. I think religions have been altered and changed
Oh
by
no, I
changed
think,
by humans.
Islam
Humans have
has
come in there
been-
and wrecked that. A lot of religions have been wrecked by humans, but I think at the center of most religions
Mhm.
is the same thing. And
how about Scientology?
well, no, I can't buy into that one.
Well, I'll attribute that to the same.
That's not
thing
really a
as
religion. I mean, L. Ron Hubbard isn't John Smith. Yeah, you know what I mean? I think that's more of a club than a religion. Am I
So-
wrong, Kazoo? I mean, what do you think?
I don't know. It has. I mean, they have all the motions and what is it? Not traditions. It's when you have to go through certain motions. There's a word for that, and I can't think of it. But it's they have a lot of the same trappings as religion. It just doesn't necessarily believe
more like being
in
a Freemason.
one sourced higher power.
It's more like being a Freemason, though, than being religion.
From what I understand, the Freemasons, they are, as long as you're spiritual, is their requirement.
No, they're all
Which
fucked up.
means it could be you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, you have a belief in a power beyond yourself or beyond the mortal realm.
I've always seen it as we can't all be right about, our God being the one God over the entire world type thing. And so I was just like, religion is the problem.
Religion is not the problem. I think religion holds listen, religion holds most societies together. The 10 Commandments holds holds most
Yeah.
societies together. Don't fuck your neighbor's wife. You might not have a lot of problems. Don't steal. You might not have a lot of problems. I mean, whether you want to look at this as like black and white religion, or you want to say, hey, here's 10 things that, you know what? If you don't
You
do
just
these
shouldn't
10
do.
things,
You mean the
probably
moral
have a good life.
foundations?
Well,
Yeah.
how about Japan?
Hey, yeah, it's
What
interesting.
about
That's not wrong because they
'Cause they
were
don't- they
in
don't
a
have-
bubble. They were in a bubble unexposed to Western ideology for a very, very
right.
long
So,
time.
Kazum, elaborate on that.
Well, they don't really have any sort of religion that's holding them together. They have honor and a number of other values, but it's not in the name of religion. They're not worshiping some god. I mean, there are religious people in Japan, but for the most part, Japan is not really a religious country. So,
and did you know this is a fact that they are suffering a crisis, that they have the lowest, one of the lowest, if not birth rates in their country,
their fault.
and they are a declining fucking country. They are, I think the average age person there is like 50 or 60 or something like that.
No, they don't have replacement levels because Japanese men are leaving, and they're leaving the country. Nobody wants to go do the tough jobs out in the fishing villages to keep the country afloat, which means they've got to import their food versus creating their own food. They're in a bad spot. There's a Bushido creator I follow, and he's even leaving. And he speaks
Japan is in decline.
English, and that means he can go
but
anywhere.
they might be in a population decline, but I mean, they still have a good society. They're a high trust society. If you
They're
could go,
annoying.
Yep, you're right.
you could
about
go
that.
you could go to a mall or something there, right? And leave an expensive item on a bench in the mall. Come back an hour later and it's still going to be there.
Oh, they're annoying.
Well, yeah, because the Yakuza even have a morality amongst the criminal element.
Okay, crime in Japan is small. Japan, those people are annoying. They're too nice to you. It's like no, they get like you
Just
try
wait
to.
until you expire that time between tourist to expat. Expats are treated differently, and there are
No,
actually,
I'm
if
just-
you go and if you're an expat in Japan, your rent is like 400% higher than a local, just because you're an expat.
Well, right, I'm sure, but just traveling through there, if they like don't want to tip, they kiss your asshole. I don't know, they're fucking annoying, man. And you know what? Most of Asia hates the Japanese, so fuck them, I guess.
For fair reason.
Well, 100% fair reason. They were the most ruthless people, and now they do nothing but apologize, and they're annoying. It's an overpriced place to visit, not that much to see. But it's fucking facts. I mean, they'll sit there and you'll hear like all the fucking nips, and they're like, oh, I mean, I'm going to call an Eskimo Eskimo if I don't like them. That just might be how it is. But you'll go over there to Asia, and I mean, you go to Indonesia and talk about Japanese people. Fucking hey, you think we're racist over here for putting them in a fucking camp?
Oh, yeah,
for a
no,
year?
they're pretty racist there,
For
yeah.
a long time, Asians
Oh,
are
fuck.
the most racist people ever. But
China,
it's
too.
only towards other Asians.
Oh, they hate each other. They hate each other.
Oh, they
Especially the
do.
Japanese. Especially the Japanese. You go over to Asia and you sit there because I remember this is I'm a history person. So this is one of the coolest things talking to my father-in-law before he passed away. And he was telling me stories about watching at the end of World War II when the Japanese were leaving Indonesia and they were just walking out in the streets and just executing people, and laughing about it and doing it because the war ended. They still occupied Indonesia and they were still there. And then so they end up leaving all their guns, all their fucking stuff and giving it. Then there was a revolution and they didn't let the Dutch back in. And he's sitting there telling me it used to be a beautiful. We had fresh water. We had everything. And then they gave the people in Indonesia after they killed and raped and pillaged all the fucking people there, the Japanese. Then they left Indonesia and left all the fucking military equipment. Then they let the Dutch back in, and the place went to shit.
Yes, they are extremely nationalistic. They do not believe in race mixing at all.
No, they're homogenous. They believe in the Japanese race, and it is very taboo to engage in activities with a foreigner.
Racism in these other countries is so huge compared to America. Just being honest, like witnessing it, I'm like,
but ask go do an on the street thing with an average American, and
but he
ask
gives a
them,
fuck.
is racism is worse here or in Asia? They'll say, "Oh, we're the worst. America's the worst. America's the worst."
But we're not at all.
Well, then what about these other countries where certain ethnicities are not allowed to own land?
All right, Uncle Remus,
residents?
tone it down a bit.
Hey, just curious. I just wanted Japan is a high trust society. The United States keeps becoming a lower and lower and lower trust society. What do you think can be done to make us be a higher trust society again? Or can there be anything done? Are we just stuck being a low trust society now?
That's a good question.
Do you think you could go to in downtown New York and leave your cell phone sitting somewhere for 5 minutes?
No way.
If you had to guess who stole it, who would you look for?
I don't know. There's criminals of that type of just about any demographic. So
I know what he's pointing at.
Yeah, I know, and I don't even want to answer at the same time too, but I guess I will.
I live in a state where we literally had laws written about this. Yeah,
it's not
okay. I did loss prevention up here in Anchorage, the largest city in Alaska. Take a wild guess of the offenders I arrested.
I don't want to go down that road. I really didn't mean that.
Even though they are a smaller demographic than the native population.
Okay. But here's what raises an interesting debacle. Why is it racist to point these stereotypes out when that's not even the definition of racism?
No,
like,
it's not. It is statistical probability.
Like if you point out that white people likes eating this, that, and the third, or black people likes eating that, why do they consider that racist?
Stereotype, though.
That's stereotyping. That's not racism.
I like fried chicken.
I do too.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, hell,
as bad as it is for my health, I love it.
If I say a black person likes chicken, why do they take that so offensive?
Give me some fried catfish.
I think people's offense. People get way too offended. They really do. It's stupid.
I don't think they're actually offended. I think they are using grievances that have been long resolved, but they keep persisting because it gives them an advantage.
No. The reason people whine about things like being offended by something is because it is a way to justify their shortcomings. That's the only time that people ever want to whine about something is they're whining about their shortcomings. We're in America. We are, I mean, you can't tell me the millionaires in America. I'm not a fucking millionaire. Neither is anybody on this panel. I wouldn't fucking imagine.
No.
There are so many black. It's like the whole thing, like Shador Sanders. They tried to turn it into racism. when they, have black quarterbacks above them, Jesus fucking Christ, it's not racism. 60% of the NFL is black, and they're making millions and fucking millions of dollars a year. That wasn't racism. Everybody wants everybody to believe everything's about racism. I don't give a fuck what color you are or where you're from or anything. I'm going to give you shit like anybody else. Well, and I'm going to fucking talk to you.
That's your mistake.
I'll be your friend.
Is you are going to.
That ain't my mistake. I don't make mistakes. I'm perfect.
Hey, I need to do something. I'll be back pretty quick. Hopefully pretty quick. So.
Well, that's the issue.
No, I'll refrain
what
from
it is. What it is it's not a debacle about skin color. It's a cultural issue, right? It's what people are really arguing about is not the color of someone's skin. It's their culture, clashing of cultures, right? Sean, you know what I'm talking about.
I think I do, but I'm
when
not
you
sure
hear, look, anytime I hear
my anecdote, but I'm going to let you go first.
Look, anytime, especially down here in Alabama, anytime I ever heard anybody get into a debacle with another person of a different ethnicity, it was never really about the pigmentation in their skin. It always come down to, their stereotypes, their culture, their beliefs or the lack thereof. It was never to do with anything about a color or a shade of skin. That's fucking stupid. People don't get upset about the color of skin. They get upset about attitudes, ideas, actions, what they put into practice, cultural habits, behaviors, what they say and do. That's what people get pissed off about with other ethnicities.
And when those stereotypes or those cultural values promote criminal activity, yeah, there's going to be a very big opposition to it.
I mean, for fuck's sakes, who the hell gets offended at somebody else's skin color, physically skin color? That ain't even an argument.
No, I've always thought it was retarded. I want to measure everybody that I ever encounter by the merit of their actions. But the longer I live, I see consistencies that are obvious by stats and observation, but I don't want to think that it is a color issue or a race issue. What is it? Jackal, the Emperor, mutual friend of Outlaws of Mine, he does not like the term racism. He hates it because it's never been about race. It's always about ethnicity.
It has always been about what people do, people say, their thoughts.
I would say it's culture.
Yes, exactly what I'm saying.
But it doesn't have to be the culture that they grew or that their ancestors did many, many years ago.
Well, there's nothing wrong
with
that. There's nothing wrong
now
with
and establishing a new culture.
There's nothing wrong with other cultures.
No,
just
I don't.
Culture you
I
are
don't disagree.
in.
I don't disagree.
Like I'm working on planning a trip to Egypt right now, where I've got some friends of mine, some people, a bunch of we're all 6'1" and above, and we're looking at a trip to Egypt where we can take a group of guys.
Don't eat
guys
the
trip.
local food.
Well, no, fuck the word. I'm eating that shit. No, I've traveled enough. I ain't eating. I'm not an adventurous eater. We'll make sure we stay at nice places and eat
that
fucking
sucks
pizza.
too, because ethnic food, like if
Fuck
I were to
that
go
food.
to
I don't want it.
Thailand
I don't want to
or
be ethnic.
Southeast Asia, oh God, would I love the street food? But then again, I'd have to sit there and go, did you actually cook your food to 165 or the proteins to 165?
My wife. It's funny. My wife grew up in all that. She'll go there and she'll eat all that street food. I'm like, fuck that. I when I leave, I take like 15, 20 packs of those, like tuna in a bag or chicken in a bag or whatever.
Wait, look,
Mayonnaise package.
carry you over.
I'm not. I'll be able to eat crackers.
Traveling
You know.
fools, you probably already know this, chat. Do yourself a favor and look up gutter oil.
Look up what?
Look up gutter oil. Oh, Gutter's Pub would love this. Gutter oil. I used to do cooking streams all the time on my show.
All right, I'd like to check that out. Drop it in there. You're a mod. You can do whatever you want. What's up, LW? Good to see you, LW, coming in here.
Look up gutter oil in some of these foreign countries, and you'll see why foreign cuisine's probably not a good idea. Yeah, sorry about that. I ate spicy ramen a while ago, and I'm got bad indigestion.
Yeah, I don't eat when we travel. I don't eat like I have done it, and I've gotten so sick, and I'm like, fuck that. I'm not here to be sick. I'll lose weight on vacation if I need to. I want to see the things. That's why I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was wondering. Wait, Kazoom, you back with us or? All right, we'll wait. We'll wait a minute longer. Yeah, it's been fun though. I like having open conversations.
I do too.
I don't like being caught in like those echo chambers where, you know, I like to hear somebody else's opinion, and I don't like things where people are hated because they have an opinion. You know, have your opinion. I like it. I want to read it.
Like I said earlier, man. I mean, it all comes down to how do you respond? Like, what is your attitude in responding? Right. You know, you can have an open dialogue and still respectfully disagree with one another. You don't have to attack one another. You know, and that's one of the things I try to teach heavily on my channel, which some of the guys get it, some don't. You know, it's all in how you approach the what do you want to call it? The other person in the debacle.
Now, let me ask you this. This is kind of a curiosity question. See, I always support you every time I see you live. I'm going, I don't agree with everything you say.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I don't have to. And you know that. And that's why we're friends. But, I mean, wouldn't you like to meet a beautiful girl that, you know, fulfilled what you wanted out of a woman?
If the laws were different, yeah. But as of now, no.
I mean, what are you, late 20s?
No, I'm 36.
All right, 36. You're still young. I mean, wouldn't you like to have a family?
Sure. But it's just right now for men, it's dangerous. The laws are not in your favor.
I know, but not every woman is the enemy. You know what I mean?
I know exactly.
There's wonderful women out there that think the same way that you do.
Yeah, I know exactly. And I've had conversations and a lot of people in Harley Dad's server over that.
Yeah.
You mind if I pitch in on that real quick?
By all means, man.
I think what it is the risk assessment. Yes, we don't know whether the woman that we are invested our time in and she seems to reciprocate the entire way, 3 to 5 years or the first 7 years of marriage. What is it? What Pop says, 7 or the benchmarks. I forget what iteration that they are. But the worst thing you could ever hear is I'm not happy.
Well, yeah,
and the way that
would not want to hear that.
The laws work, especially in some of the liberal states, you don't even have to be married. You could just be cohabitating and they treat it like a divorce, which means 50% of the man's stuff gets reallocated to the woman. And there is a culture of women that participates in a grift that does that.
But
armed
that's a small
with that
culture.
knowledge, do you want to invest your time into one?
Well, yeah. You know, I come from a thing of bird dog and beaver. You know, like I don't understand this thing of being like not wanting to be like chasing chicks. You know.
Well, you have to protect yourself as far as the laws are concerned, because again,
I know, but now you're worrying about what has made, you know, our world keep going around. I don't know. It's a weird thing. Yes, I do agree with a lot what you say with these crazy bitches, but they're not all crazy bitches.
oh yeah, no, they're not.
There's beautiful women in this world that just want a good guy. And I don't think that alienating the whole women out of it is smart.
Well, then that's how dire our situation is to change laws then.
And what's up, Jesse? Yeah, look, even let me highlight this comment. Even Jesse coming here. Not all of us are crazy.
Hey,
you know?
like I said, I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of women in YouTube, out in the real world about this. Yeah, of course. But did the laws change for the crazy women and the good women?
Dude, you have no idea what the laws have done to me, but I'll still fucking stand here and say, you know, it's. I want to be normal. I'm chasing split tail.
Sure.
I'm married, so I'm not. Yeah, you know what I mean. But I know
hey,
a beautiful blonde.
If you got a good one, you ain't gonna get a complaint from any of us.
Look, I'm not going to argue with it. If you find somebody and that's what you want to do, that by all means. I've
been called MGTOW because I'm selective. I'm a single parent, and my next decision for a woman requires a higher quality of person. It may just be my area is not a conducive watering hole.
Look, I tell people,
but they say I'm MGTOW because I've got that preference. I'm like, no, I'm not MGTOW. I'm red pilled. MGTOW's a little bit different.
I mean, don't you just want to bang a hot chick every now and then?
Oh no, absolutely.
Look,
Jesus fucking Christ.
But you don't have to be MGTOW your entire life. MGTOW is just okay. Outlaw, tell me if I'm wrong about this. You don't have to
this is not a
MGTOW
MGTOW channel over here. This is a bang hot chicks channel.
I would love to do that, but what I don't want is baggage and
well, you know, you're picking you choose. You know how long life is. Life is about you get a window in time to do these cool things in your life, like procreate or have relationships with people or do this. Okay,
you're not wrong about that.
So you start that at about 15, 16, 14, 15, 16 with the innocent, you know, like, oh, I've got a crush on, you know, this girl. See, you get in your early 20s and you got, you know, a high school sweetheart, you know, and then you get in your early 20s and you start having relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Then you hit about 70 and it's all downhill from there. It's going to be, so what is that? 20 to, you know, 60 something, you know, 45 year. Are you really going to spend 20 of that or 15 of that wasting your fucking time not banging hot girls? That's the way I look at it.
I think there's a bit of I don't mean to say this with any disrespect to anybody, but I think there is a period of idealism in people's lives where it's ideal for you to do this activity, which is either your education, your early 20s, and then your career from your mid 20s
How old are
to 30s.
you?
And
how old are you?
I'm 40.
All right.
Look, yeah, I tell people all the time.
That's the prescription that I was taught and told to do. It did absolutely not work out for me. but it can work out for other people. But at the
So
same
you're
time,
40 years old, you're divorced, and you got a kid.
I
You're
never
like in
got
the
never got married, thankfully.
all right. So you're in the golden situation. You can get any girl from 27 years old up to fucking 50. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like you're in a golden situation.
I want to understand what you mean by the golden situation because I don't see it that way.
You've
So
got
that's why
women from
I
their
want to see the
late
understanding.
20s. You're at an aspect where we can sit there and hit on women from their late 20s to 50s.
Why? Because I'm a
That's like a
silver-haired
ton of women.
fox.
No, because you're in that situation.
Look, I tell people
Okay,
all the
but
time.
that is what is it? That's confirmation bias. That somebody else.
No, it's not. Jesus Christ. It's not. That's the way I look at this. Outlaw, what do you think? Go ahead.
Look, I tell people all the time, and you have to keep this in mind, that both men and women have been lied to by their federal government. They've been both used against each other by people that have manipulated the mind.
But who cares about the government?
I would
It
say
matters
it's
greatly.
not just government. I think it was media, society at large.
All right, let Outlaw go on it. Go on.
It matters greatly when these people have the resources to put you away and make you disappear. It matters greatly. And when you hear stories constantly of men pretty much repeating nearly damn near the same thing over and over in different states and countries and what, yeah, this kind of matters.
I've had a horrible like situations with the way back when with the government and that kind of thing, but at the same time, I mean, I don't know, rooting for Ramona's fun, man.
Maybe we,
like I said,
maybe we just had very different experiences. I mean, I got most of mine anti-marriage thing came from my parents' divorce. And that was, I'm not going to say it's bloody, but it was psychologically destructive because as much as my dad did not want me to, he's like, I don't want you to fucking say or do anything. I just want you to say the right thing. I just want you to say what you truly feel. I got the different coercive message from my mother. It is, you tell the court what I want you to say. I was a product of one of those. And I was like, I shut the fuck up. When they had a court-appointed psychologist come and interview me, because my sister was a toddler during the divorce, so they can't talk to her, but they could talk to me because I'm like 6-7 years old. And my dad was trying to do the just tell.
So
the truth.
do you think?
Tell the truth.
Do you think
my mom is
anything
like,
like?
no, we're doing what I tell you to do.
So
Sorry, I didn't mean to
like,
cut you off. You go ahead, Trevor Fools.
No, like you're going back to like court-appointed psychologists and stuff like that. Like,
That's my personal experience, but that was 30.
so there was pre-existing problems.
Yeah.
You got a fucking psychologist.
Let's just say my mother was not
Right.
the saint that she wanted to be or pretend.
So everybody has to realize that some people have normal fucking childhoods and growing up, and some people don't. You can't compare that. I'm sorry you did not have a normal one, but some people do have normal ones. The majority of people have.
Oh no, I'm
what's
grateful
normal?
that those that
Not
have
having a
that
fucking psychologist.
Yes, not having a psychologist in your life is should be a normal thing. I agree with that. No, that was my introduction to it at a young age, well before I knew what red pill, MGTOW, or any of that kind of sphere meant.
So see, Kazoom, they are MGTOW. What do you think about that?
Who?
Look, these
I
guys
wasn't.
right here.
Oh, I mean, aren't gay men MGTOW just by not being into women?
Kazoom just called y'all gay, and I'm here for it.
I'm gonna
And I
have to give you a concession.
I
on
love
that.
you,
Well, I mean, I'm a gay man, and that's why I said it. So
I know, and that's why I'm
as an
laughing.
interpretation of men going their own way, but I think the larger
It
people that
pertains-
identify with that is
It
homosexuality
pertains-
is not part of it, but it's
Listen to this.
not
Listen to
at
this,
the same
Kazoom.
time.
You just fucked them all.
No, well,
no, hold on.
no,
It is
there's
a
no
particular-
understanding about it from what I understand, but like I said,
No,
I'm not.
There
MGTOW.
is. Hold on. There is, because it is a very particular
All right,
philosophy.
let the gay guy talk. Go ahead.
I'm eating.
It is a very particular philosophy that deals with men and women in the courts, not men and men, women or women. It's men and women.
Oh,
I mean, yes, but part of it is literally the idea of men going their own way outside of the standards of the straight standards of
because it deals with the court laws that are biased against men with women, mainly. That's all it's ever been.
But what
So
about
let me ask
divorces with
Kazoom
gay
a
men?
question really fast. Kazoom, as an openly gay man and my friend, you know what I mean? Like, you and I are friends. I like you. As an openly gay man and my friend, will you please tell these people it's okay to be gay?
Who said it wasn't?
Who said it wasn't? Yeah,
No, the MGTOW people. No, I'm talking about the MGTOW people.
Oh,
Will
no,
you
no,
just,
no, no,
will you
it's-
just go on and tell
No,
them it's
not
okay to
because-
just
no.
Dude, I've
Not
never
because-
given a
no,
shit
look,
about
look.
gay
It's
people
not
because
because-
it's their fucking thing. It's their bedroom activity, not mine.
I hate it. Cool, y'all hate women. It's okay.
No, that's not at all what it is. That is not at all what it is.
All right, it's okay to be gay, outlaw. It's okay. I'll still like
Who
you.
said it
That's my
wasn't,
point.
though? Who said it wasn't though? No, it's mainly just men and women in the divorce courts and child support courts and alimony courts. It's on the principle that the courts are biased in their favor against men.
Well, they
You
have a
don't see that
financial
when you don't-
incentive.
You
Oh,
don't.
no, but
see that-
I agree. The courts are stacked against men when it comes to what they like. If there's a marriage, you get a divorce, and they side with the the women all the time. The women get custody of the children by default. A lot of
But
things.
that's no reason. But that is no reason to not pursue the next piece of ass.
Now, as
That's my point.
But at
I
the
have-
risk of losing half your shit, because
well.
I know how it's supposed to work, which is when a couple
I've been
gets
through
together,
these
they're-
situations. I've done it, and I've still do
Okay,
it
so
again.
you know the differentiation between personal
Yeah, you
assets
have no
and
idea.
marital
You have no
assets.
idea what I've dealt with. So
I probably don't, but this is my understanding, and you can correct me if I'm incorrect, and please do so.
Don't worry.
Before marriage, everybody's assets are considered personal assets. But the second you get married, and any assets gained from either party become marital assets, and then those are the assets in case of divorce that have to split.
yeah, unless
Am I-
you
am
just
I
write a
correct?
prenuptial agreement, and you don't have to worry.
that doesn't hold up.
It doesn't
but-
hold up in court, which is
Okay.
why I don't even.
Do you
bother
realize
to
you've
present it
only
in the
got like
argument.
30 years, 40 years? You can have fun doing this. Jesus fucking Christ, have some fun. Go out, bang some hot bitches if that's what you want to do. You
Yeah.
only got 40 years. You want to worry about what somebody might sue you for? Jesus,
you know what?
fucking
that's what
Christ.
you want to do,
I
go
spent
for
my
it.
20s deploying back and forth from Iraq, so I did not expect to live this long. And I never
All right, there you
anticipated
go.
I was going to be in this position, let alone
Wow.
sire a child out of wedlock. And then the mom was going to be the one who said, "You fucking deal with it."
Now, here's the thing, because we talk about the men and women relationships. I've never known, maybe Kazum, maybe you can shed light on this. I've never known of gay couples being taken to court and being railed over like men and women are in divorce courts. Women, men. I've never seen them railed over each other like that.
Gay, do you realize two men can't have a baby, right?
I don't know that much about gay men who have been married who get divorces. I don't know much about that.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I've never seen the statistics or how rough that is going through divorce. So that's why I only speak about men and women, because that's all MGTOW pertains to.
Have you ever been divorced, Outlaw?
Oh God, no.
Okay, so you've never even been married.
Right.
No, but he has witnessed his.
I know everybody's witnessed things they want to witness. You don't witness things you do, but no, you know what I mean. There's the reason
difference
people
between
keep
being a first
procreating in this whole
person and a
world
third person.
is that things keep happening. I don't agree with taking away and backing into a corner and saying everything is bad. Yes, there are bad things that happen, but there are billions of more good things that happen.
And maybe I'll just say this for myself. I'm not going to speak for Outlaw, but he could confirm or deny. Maybe we have just been experienced too many bad situations, either personally or through third party, that we're just like, hey, we're going to be either extremely selective or we're opting out.
No, look, because I deal with this every single day. I talk with men every single day about this very particular issue. This is happening all over the Western world, whether people realize it or not, and in alarming numbers. You know, this is not something to take light. It's not something to, just scoff at, which I'm not saying anybody here is. I've seen stories of men putting guns in their mouths over this. Men. It's nothing to scoff at. It's very
one of the hardest things ends up for the fathers ends up being when they don't get custody, and then they get all this limited custody, and it's like
exactly
you can only visit your kids. It's like, but what did I do? The dad will ask, what did they do to deserve not being able to see their kids?
Oh, it's horrible.
It is, because when you become a father, when you become a parent, your brain literally rewrites itself to have a different set of priorities. And when those are not met because of legal circumstances,
it's insanity. Have you ever
it is insanity.
Let me ask
this is
you
what
this.
Redonkulous or Terrence Pop.
Let me ask you this. Have you ever been in that situation?
When my kiddo was in foster care after his birth, and I had to work with children's services who I had the full intent was my enemy, was actually my friend.
Okay, so
and I couldn't fucking believe it as it was happening, because
you have a child, correct?
Yeah, 14 years.
All right. Outlaw, do you have a child?
No.
All right. Kazum, do you have a child? Kazum?
Oh, he shook his head.
I shook my head.
I'm sorry. You don't have a child. So, yeah, it's hard to know what it's like to have a child if you don't have a child. So like Outlaw, your age, man. I mean, Jesus Christ, your job is to procreate. Don't think every woman, please don't think every woman is horrible, because there are tons of wonderful women in this world that you could be happy with.
I've done stated numerous times I don't believe that there's all bad women. I mean, that's not what MGTOW is in the first place. But yeah,
What does it stand for? Men, what?
Men going their own way.
Yeah, their own way. You're not going to get laid doing that. You'll never procreate.
Oh, well.
That's actually not true, because they're okay. Not the
I don't want to
MGTOWs
talk
that
about
we.
MGTOW.
All right.
I mean,
I love Outlaw. He's my buddy, but I don't want him. It's not.
You don't want to go into the topic any further. That's your decision. That's
if
okay.
that's what men want to do with their time, then let them go do it. But I have morals about me. I don't just lay with any woman out here, and that's the bottom line.
Well, I think as you should, because our seed is precious.
And I'm not saying anybody here is doing that. I'm saying for me, I have morals, and I don't just lay with any woman out here.
What is this morals thing you speak of?
Well, I actually value my health.
I'm joking.
So,
I'm joking.
I know. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm getting sleepy as fuck. Starting to see cross-eyed. Oh, man.
That'll happen.
No, it's been fun. I mean, we've had a lot of good conversation tonight. I like it.
Yeah, but we're still going to return.
I hope so.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
Yeah,
we can have these disagreements and still return the next show.
I don't have to agree with y'all. I'm not gay. I'm not.
No, you don't have to.
So I mean, I don't have to agree with you, but I can still appreciate you and be friends with you.
Sure.
Yeah.
But look, for the women in the chat, because I know there's several of you here. Look, this is not at all what MGTOW is about.
Yeah. Hate.
MGTOW is not about hating you. We don't look. Let me tell you right now, and Sean, you can back me up on this. Traveling Fools, you've seen enough of my shows. You know what's happening.
Yeah, it never is a He-Man woman haters club.
We do not back Andrew Tate. We do not back Fresh and Fit. We are not that brand of red pill and MGTOW. That is not who we are.
No, because they are very
like
rigid in their beliefs, which only serves a very small population of men. Whereas I would just say this, like the red pill or the content that you and I do, all we do is we say these are the risk factors. It is always up to you to engage at your own risk.
Look, I'm bringing very serious awareness to issues that are biases in our courts. What you choose to do with it going from there is your call.
Yeah. What is it? The thing I do on my channel is say, hey, you got a toolbox of shit that you can use to enrich yourself or better your life, whether it be whatever subject. Here are the tools I provided. Go out into the world and apply them.
Right, but there has to be
work.
Something of natural. I mean, do you really go see a hot chick and go like, man, I'd like to hit that? And look at that and go. No, let me finish. Let me finish asking my question.
Yeah, okay.
Do you really go see a hot chick and you run into her and you see this girl at the bar? You see, do you really go in there and say, well, I probably shouldn't hit on her because I'm MGTOW? Like really? I would be like all over that.
It ain't that kind of way, no.
Well, I mean, brother, look at my avatar. I mean, I look. I still check them out.
Well, Do you not hit on them?
Some not. Yeah. Yeah. It's sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
I don't know. I just don't get it.
I don't go out to the bars
Well,
or the clubs anymore, but when I'm out and about and I see chicks in the grocery store with their spandex on, all I know is that they are advertising and I don't have the body type to apply.
So is that their fault?
That is a very, very good question to ask. However, my reply usually will be if they are advertising availability with revealing clothing, it means they don't have a healthy relationship with their man. And she's looking for other potentials.
Well, see, and that's where I will go like against that. Like my wife likes to wear, fancy clothes, things that look good, things that are attractive, things that are blah blah blah.
Are they revealing clothing?
You ever looked at my channel?
I don't know if that's you or if that's your wife
I'm not a fucking I'm not a 5'9" Asian woman. I'm a 6'1" American fucking asshole.
Hey, there you go. That's what I am. 6'1".
Yeah.
No, I don't think hitting on girls in the grocery store is appropriate because
it's fucking fun as shit. I still do it. God damn it. I'm married, but hey,
that just might be a personal disagreement between you and me. We're here for a thing or another, but if conversation strikes up naturally, like you're at a fucking aisle and for some reason you and a woman just click on the merchandising there and the conversation goes a little bit beyond just talking merchandise, then I think it might be okay. But
what are you doing?
Between hitting on somebody, like going to the
talking
grocery
about
store
banana
to hit on them?
prices?
No.
I mean,
we're not talking about ISIS.
You'd have to find some way to start a conversation just in general, and
you run your fucking buggy right into theirs, and then ask them if they got into it. I mean,
that's creating a situation.
Okay.
Well, you gotta create a situation.
We need a whole. we need a whole series. We need a whole.
I could teach all y'all how to get laid in about 20 minutes. I could teach all y'all how to get laid.
We need a whole series of seeing how you interact, like running buggies.
Oh no, we need a tutorial, guide by guide from.
All right, I'm gonna take a leak. I'm gonna come back and tell y'all how to not be MGTOW. Give me 2 seconds.
Do it.
Unfortunately, I'm going to bed, so
you go ahead.
Y'all have fun with that. It's not going to convince me otherwise, but yeah, y'all have fun with that.
Oh, he's just fucking playing.
Oh yeah, I know he's having fun. All right, guys.
But it is great that we can all have fun about this.
Oh yeah. I know I'm being serious. I got to get up in the morning. Do a bunch of shopping soon.
All right, you take it easy, Outlaw. I will probably see you tomorrow in some fashion in our circle.
All right, guys. It's been fun. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Alrighty, have a good night. It's good talking with you.
Yeah, good talking to you guys.
It's good to see you again, Kizme.
Hey,
our first outing over there on Ike's channel was not the ideal introduction.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
Yeah, we got to do something with the dead air, don't we?
Yeah. I thought he was just going to pee.
What do you like to do, dude? What's your hobbies? What's your interest? What do you like most of life?
I don't know. I make music, but it's been a long time since I actually wrote anything. But so I'm a musician. I like nature. I will sometimes make nature walk videos. I have a Steadicam for this, and I go through nature, walk through nature areas and stuff like that.
So that's not surprising.
Politics is kind of a hobby for me too. So
Gazoom actually used to be. He's the artist previously known as Yanni, but
and actually, Kazoom is a mispronunciation of music backwards.
Yeah,
it'd be music backwards. It would actually be music backwards, but it's close enough. So
that's
it's
pretty cool.
It's the name I went by as a musician for so many years, and then I started having people call me it in person, and then in 2014 I had my name legally changed to it.
What do you play?
Seriously?
What do you? Wait! I have to ask.
Okay.
As a fellow musician, I have to ask Gazoom. What do you play? Is it the male organ or?
I play keyboard, some guitar, a little bit of bass, and then I make sequences on the computer.
Have you ever?
And then I sing. I am a vocalist.
Have you ever played the Diccolo? I love you.
Okay, I actually have to ask now, and I'm pretty sure it is a real instrument, but is it a real instrument?
Yeah, it's right next to the tromboner.
Okay, Kazumi, do you have a specific genre of music you produce, or are you varied?
It's varied. I tend to try to have like pop sensibilities, especially like, you got part A, part B, part A, part B, part C, part A, part B, as far as the different way, like it's a pop song is usually set up that way. So I do have pop sensibilities, but I like to use unusual chord progressions, and I like using a lot of odd timings. So there's that.
And nobody like Kazoom. Nobody like Kazoom. He does voice recordings. Kazoom is a rock star on the internet. I watch your other stuff. I follow those channels, Kazoom. I see all the stuff you do, man. You do a lot of great work. I love you, brother. You are my friend. I tease you, but that's me teasing.
Yeah, what I'm most known for on the net is doing the voice work for JCS Criminal Psychology. And they've got like 5 million subscribers.
Right. He's
I will have to look that up because I'm not.
No, he'll fuck your whole head up.
Is,
you think Dexter was
narrating?
weird? Wait till you listen to this guy. All right, listen, guys.
Well, no, he's got
we are
the mic
going
set
to
up.
close this down. We're going to close
All
this
right,
down.
yeah, it's been going on. It's been going on a while, but I've really enjoyed it though.
You said it was a JCE criminal.
JCS.
JCS. Okay,
Yes.
that's why I'm putting it in right now. JCS is a criminal psychology.
All right,
You
Sean,
sound like
you
you
got,
would have a great voice for that.
Sean, you got any last words for us? You got anything you want to shout out or anything like that?
Any last words? Question everything, including what we all say.
All right, man. I appreciate you coming up. I thank you very much. Thank you for being here.
Salute.
Thanks. Have
All
a
right,
good night.
Kazoom. You finally. Well, we do have a thing. You are going to be invited to Snob Audio channel.
right.
Yeah, we're going to have fun with that. But thank you, man. Thank you for coming up. Thank you for listening to other people's opinions. You and me are a lot on the same page on a lot of stuff.
Right on.
So, tell everybody where they can find you.
YouTube.com/Kazoom.
There we go. That's exactly where you find it. Thanks, everybody. Watch this. We're gonna go out. I always love this. Aunt Janice. Where is Aunt Janice?
The file.
What are you, retarded?
No, not that one. We gotta find Aunt Janice. I always like going after this. Give me a second. Stick around for 1 minute, because
all right.
I gotta find this. Where the hell is it? Here we go.
Who got hurt while out on a hike. You can see there that she's being airlifted, but Sky Fox is showing that she is spinning around and around. She had quite the bumpy ride. She was placed in that basket, hoisted up in the rescue helicopter, but she ended up spinning there, unfortunately, for quite some time.
Out of control, spinning around for several minutes. We're told the woman is 74 years old and got hurt while out on the trail. It's not exactly clear how or how serious those injuries that she sustained on the trail were, but we're trying to figure out if she sustained additional injuries while on this rescue, spinning out of control. And what a